Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are actually doing something kind of special. We're going to be looking at everything that is related to the new set which is coming out in 2 days. Okay? And to start, we are going to be looking at the champions here. This set is called Into the Arcane. It's Arcane related, right? The League of Legends show, which is on Netflix. I personally haven't seen it, so please no spoilers. But yeah, we can just go ahead and jump in because this is going to be a long video, okay? We're just going to be starting here with the Mumu. The first one cost, we see Mumu all the time. Passive, reduce all incoming damage by a set amount. Every second emit sparks that deal AP damage to adjacent enemies. Seems like he's just going to be a tank. And then spin, dealing physical damage to adjacent enemies and healing, and then apply a physical damage bleed to target over 4 seconds. This is Darius. I can see that they have the same trait as a Mumu, interesting. But I assume he's going to have some sort of stacking damage in one of his, whatever this is, because the next character is also Draven, and I can see that they both have the same trait here as well. Draven's spinning axes. Passive, if Draven has an empowered axe in hand, it replaces his next attack, dealing boosted physical damage, and then empowered axes return to Draven after hitting an enemy. Active, spin an empowered axe. So he seems like he's pretty much just like League of Legends. I play a lot of Draven, so I can see how this works. I assume this is going to lead to some sort of one cost rerolls between these two, and also maybe with Amumu since he has the same trait as Darius as well. Then here we have Aurelia. She has completely different traits. It looks like none of them are matching. Enter defensive stance and gain an AP shield that rapidly decays over 3 seconds. When it expires, deal magic damage, plus 30% of the damage absorbed to enemies around and in front of Aurelia. So this seems like it could be quite good if she was a main tank. I'm not sure what her trait does. It looks like the Sentinel trait where you get armor and MR. Yeah, okay, interesting. And then we have Lux. Also looks like she has completely new traits compared to these. Prismatic Barrier grants an AP shield to the lowest current health ally, and then her next attack deals bonus magic damage. Okay, so obviously she's a mage, and she is a little bit supportive, and she doesn't have AoE. She's not like the other sets, the previous sets recently at least. This reminds me of Orianna. There was a one-cost Orianna a few sets ago. I can't remember which one it was. It was an AP unit. She gave a shield to the lowest health ally, I think it was, and then did bonus magic damage on her next attack. This actually looks exactly the same. And here we have Maddie. Okay, so I don't know anything about Arcane, but I do know that this is supposed to be an Arcane character, from what I understand. It looks like she has the sniper trait, and then this I don't know. Fire 6 shots towards the farthest enemy that deal physical damage to the first enemy they hit. So I assume she'd be good with like Infinity Edge. You know, Lux would be Spear of Shojin. I feel like Draven probably Infinity Edge as well. And then I assume you wouldn't really itemize Darius because he doesn't seem like he'd be super strong, especially since his AP and AD scale, or sorry, his healing and damage scale off different stats. So I assume this would not be that good. But yeah, I think maybe Draven could be a carry. And then I think Lux may be a mage secondary carry. This unit looks like she could carry as well. Maddie, AD carry with snipers. And then the next thing we have is Morgana as a one cost. Okay, so she's going from 5 to 1 cost. And then we have Curse the nearest non-cursed enemy, dealing a set amount of magic damage with some AP scaling over 10 seconds and reducing the effectiveness of shields used on them by 50%. Okay, so obviously you can't tell how good this is quite yet. Taking 10 seconds to deal 500 magic damage is not really that good. It depends on her mana pool, which we can't see here. We will look a little bit later when we look at the synergies at the top. Then we have Powder with Misfit Toy. She sends a monkey towards the largest group of enemies, causing a 2 hex radius explosion on impact. Okay, this could be good. And then enemies hit take magic damage reduced by a certain percent for each hex they are away from the epicenter, and then they get wounded and burned. Okay, this is an arcane unit for sure. I don't recognize her at all. I also can't really tell from her traits what she does, but she does have 3 traits, so I assume one of these is unique to her, and I assume it would be the center one here. Do we have any matching traits yet? Okay, so it looks like she has all unique traits compared to these other one costs, so I'm not sure who you would play her with quite yet. But yeah, this looks like it could be strong. If she stacks with AP, maybe you'd go something just like Shojin, Jeweled Gauntlet, maybe Guard Breaker, something like that. Let's keep going. We have Singed. This has to be a tank, I believe, because Aurelia has the same trait. Like I said, I think this is probably like something like Sentinel, Armor and MR. Then we have some sort of Poison Vial. Okay, makes sense. He does, poison a lot. So he gains durability and grants the ally who has dealt the most damage this round attack speed. So he's like a supportive tank. We don't really see this, I feel like. I wonder if you were re-rolling one costs, who you would play this with. I feel like there might be some sort of reroll that includes Singed, Draven Darius, something like that, and then maybe Aurelia, depending on how many of the units you need to have these traits active. Could even be really crazy, like some sort of all one cost reroll, right? Singed, Aurelia, Draven Darius, and a Mumu, right? Because I can see that they all have sort of link traits, at least a little bit, right? Yeah, okay. Then we have Steb, okay, Steb. Has Field Medicine, passive on heal, heal the two closest allies for 25% of the amount. Active, heal for a set amount based on AP, and strike target for this amount of magic damage. So without seeing the ability, it's kind of hard to say. Assuming how, or the cast animation isn't super long, this could be pretty good, right? He could just spam his main ability. It looks like he's a bruiser. We always have bruisers. So Maddie plus Steb. So this might be some sort of reroll. And then we have Trundle. Heal and chomp target for physical damage. And then both effects are increased based on missing health. Okay, so this is just a tank. It seems pretty simple. He has Bruiser. And he also shares a trait with Powder. They have something going on together. This could be a reroll. Maybe Trundle Powder. And then we have Vex, which shares something with Aurelia and Morgana. And she has deal magic damage to targets and create a 1 hex radius zone of darkness around them. After a brief delay, deal magic damage to enemies still in the zone and create a 1 hex radius zone. I assume she would be good with Shojin as well, by the way, Shojin or blue buff. And it looks like I don't think Singed would be played that often. I assume Steb would be because he's a bruiser, and I also assume that Amumu would be because it looks like he has something going on with Darius and Draven, right? Maybe some sort of reroll here. Yeah, let's keep looking. We have Violet. Okay, so this is another arcane character. 1, 2, 3 combo, jab target 2 times for physical damage, then uppercut, dealing more damage and knocking them up. Okay, so this actually looks just like Vi. Wait, is she related to Vi somehow? Maybe she's related to Vi. I don't know if Vi is in this set as well. But Violet, this looks like Vi from the set where we had the punk trait, where she would basically just hit an enemy, permanently reduce their armor, and stun them. And it was a reroll, a very heavy reroll. She also has this trait, which doesn't match with the other arcane. So she matches with Powder. So maybe Powder, Trundle, Violet, and like Steb. These four could go together, with the bruisers, and then whatever this is. And then they'd also have this other sort of wrench trait put together. So it looks like we have a lot of potential rerolls this set. A lot of one cost rerolls, I should say. And then we have Zyra. Okay, completely new traits. Again, we have a little book and then something that looks like a chromosome or like DNA. And she has grasping roots. She sends out a vine, stunning the current target for 1 second, dealing magic damage, and then sends out smaller vines to 2 nearest enemies, dealing magic damage. Experiment bonus. Ability damage bleeds enemies for 0% bonus true damage over 2 seconds. So maybe you can reroll Zyra, but it looks like there's no other one cost that shares this experiment trait. If this is called experiment, I assume it's this one. This looks like it would be a mage trait, sorcerer. But yeah, it looks like we don't have any other one cost with this. I assume you can't reroll Zyra then. If she's the only one cost with this, it would seem a little difficult. It looks like we have this this reroll going on between these characters though, right? Violet, Trundle Stab, Powder, and then maybe Singed with Aurelia, something like Maddie with Stab. It looks like there's a lot of rerolls here. I see maybe 4 or 5 potential reroll comps already. And now moving on to the 2 costs, we have Akali as the first one. She has this sort of creepy looking face as her main trait, and then as her off trait, I'm going to assume that's Assassin. So we'll see what that does a little bit later. But she has Shuriken Flip, throw a shuriken at a target dealing some magic damage and marking them to take more damage for 4 seconds. Then dash away from the target. After a brief delay, dash towards them and deal more damage. Okay, so it's kind of like her E in League of Legends. She throws a shuriken, it sends her back, and then she can reactivate it to dash at them again. And then she'll do increased damage. So it definitely sounds like an assassin to me. She might be able to drop aggro, right? When she was a 4 cost a few sets ago, she could dash into an enemy and then drop aggro. KDA Akali, she would dash back, turn invisible, and then dash again at the enemy, dropping aggro. So she could drop aggro over and over. This seems similar, but she doesn't turn invisible, so she'll probably be a little bit more vulnerable, which makes sense because she's a 2 cost. But yeah, it looks like assassin plus something. And then finally, we have Camille, the next 2 cost, adaptive strike, kick the target, dealing some damage and healing. And then adaptive damage uses the damage type the target resists less. Oh, okay. That seems like a Camille special, right? That might mean that she is a really good unit in the early game because she heals for a lot and she basically ignores the need for armor pen or magic pen. We'll see how good she is. We have Leona. It looks like she's also has this sentinel trait, I assume, and she has the ability Eclipse. Fortify for 3 seconds, gaining 50% durability. Afterwards, deal magic damage to adjacent enemies. So this is just Leona W in League of Legends. She'll probably be a decent tank, nothing too special. I think the dealing magic damage part actually takes away from her tankiness. Next unit is Nocturne, Overdrive Blades. For 6 seconds, attacks also cause adjacent enemies to bleed physical damage over 1 second. And he goes with Akali. Okay, so here we have a reroll. This is the first obvious looking one. We have 2 assassin-like units, and then they have the same trait. So I do assume this is just assassin. Nocturne and Akali are assassin champs in League of Legends, so it makes sense. And then we have Rel, okay. Gain shield for 4 seconds, lance enemies in a line for magic damage, and steal armor and MR from enemies' hits. I don't know how good this will be, but I do see that we have the matching trait with Darius and Draven. So this might be some sort of 1/2 cost reroll, where you can go a lot of these, I think, Sentinels, plus whatever this main trait is. This is like an off trait, this is like a main trait. So I'm seeing some connections, right? It looks like Assassin reroll, potential for Camille and some 1 cost, Rel plus some 1 cost. It looks like there's a lot of 2 and 1 cost reroll potential. And then the next one is Renata Glask with Loyalty Program. Fire a pair of missiles at target. Allies that they pass through gain shield for 3 seconds. When they collide, they deal magic damage to target and magic damage to adjacent enemies. And she has the little poison vial, which goes with Singed. So Singed plus her could maybe form something, but I don't see enough of the units with this trait for it to seem like a reroll. Maybe if this blood trait is rerollable, then it might be. Continue on though. I will say so far, the ones that look the most interesting to me are Camille. She looks like a really strong unit on her own. And then Akali Nocturne looks like some sort of assassin reroll. So I see a lot of potential. And then, like I said, Rel, Darius, Draven maybe. The next one we have is Set. He has Facebreaker as his ability. Pull in an enemy on either side and slam them together, dealing magic damage and stunning them. Okay. If only one enemy is grabbed, the damage and stun duration are increased. So this is probably going to be a main tank, because we now have 3 of these units, right? We have Set, we have Akali, and we have the one up here, which was Relia. Maybe there's some sort of reroll between these as well. And he's also a bruiser, which is really convenient. Bruiser usually fits into a lot of comps because most of the time, Riot will make the bruiser trait give your team a flat bonus health, like 100 bonus health to your whole team just for having the bruiser trait active. And then as you get more, the bruisers themselves get way more max HP. Next, we have Tristana with completely different traits than all the things we've seen so far. So again, more traits, okay. Fire cannonball at target, dealing physical damage. If they die, the cannonball ricochets to the nearest enemy, dealing the overkill damage. When it does permanently gain AD, people are going to love this. I assume you just go Rage Blade or Shojin, or maybe just Red Buff, something with attack speed, so you can just spam your ability, and then probably Infinity Edge. I think regardless of if it is a good reroll trait, people will reroll her solely because she will have permanent AD stacking. So yeah. And then we have Urgot. Fire an explosive charge, dealing physical damage to targets and physical damage to adjacent enemies. Sunder all enemies hit. So usually things that have Sunder do not get as much play, simply because Having this as part of their ability means that the rest of their ability is kind of nerfed. Otherwise, they would be really overloaded, right? They have Sunder and they deal a ton of damage, or they heal, or it would be overloaded, right? This is probably not going to be main carry, but I do see he pairs with Zyra. So that is the first experiment trait, I guess. Is maybe it's just called experiment that goes with Zyra, but it doesn't look strong enough to me because I also see that none of the rest of the units have experiment. So I don't think Urgot Zyra will be rerollable, but we can look at the bonus. Experiment bonus on combat start and after ability cast, dash to the target, then gain max health shield and attack speed. I still don't think he'll be rerollable, just because his main trait only has Zyra with it, so I don't think that'll be strong enough. Then we have Vander here, Hound of the Underground. Okay, we finally have a match for this trait, this new looking trait, with the the parents and the child, I guess. So we have Violet, Powder. Wait, so maybe Violet and Vander are the mom and dad? That's interesting. I'm not too sure about that, but I could see it. They both look older, and then Powder looks like a child. And then let's see what he does. Yeah, Hound of the Underground, stop attacking and brace. Okay, Cassante. So this is just Cassante ability from the Heartsteel set. And then he gains armor and MR. Okay, this is really just the Cassante ability, it looks like. And then empower the next attack to deal. Okay, wait, this is actually just Cassante's ability. However, Cassante was a 1 cost unit. This is a 2 cost unit. But yeah, and then the physical damage gets increased for each 1 or 2 cost champ. Oh, it's a reroll. Okay, okay. I can see that. I can see that. So he does have this. So it might be something like that pairs with the other two, Violet, Vander, Powder, and then we have this trait which goes with Amumu, Darius. So maybe it'll be something along the lines of like Amumu, Darius, Draven, Powder, Violet, and Vander. Some sort of like full 1 cost plus a 2 cost reroll. Vander would be main tank. It looks like Draven would be our main AD carry. And then potentially Powder could be another duo carry, right? Draven plus Powder, duo carry. But yeah, let's keep going. Next we have Vladimir, who goes with Morgana. Transfusion, heal and deal magic damage. Okay, somehow that feels a little bit underwhelming, but maybe this would go with the reroll I just said, because we see that the tank trait is matching with Vander. Though usually tank traits go in even numbers, like 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm not sure if we would use this or not. Yeah, okay, but let's continue on. Nothing's really special looking about Vladimir, in my opinion. He might be a little underwhelming, I'm not sure. But we do have Zeri. She has what looks like a lightning bolt plus sniper. And her passive is every third attack is replaced with a spark that deals physical damage to target and physical damage to 2 nearby enemies. Oh, okay, so she's actually really similar to League of Legends. You just keep auto attacking, right? And then sniper gives her bonus damage from range, I assume. So this looks like it could be a Rage Blade carry? Maybe like Rage Blade Runans? Kind of like how we saw Jinx, how we saw Bard in previous sets. She just keeps auto attacking, and then she'll do a ton of damage over time, right? Then you just have like maybe an Evan Shroud in your front line or something. Or if she's sniper, you might end up re-rolling her with the other sniper we saw, which was Maddie. Potential, right? Not sure, but I could see it. I assume this will definitely be a carry. And then finally we have Ziggs. Okay, let's see how Ziggs is compared to set 12. Bomb full of bombs, and then he has the same trait as Powder and Trundle, and then he has what looks like a new trait. Out of all the 1 and 2 cost, he's the only one with this secondary trait, but he does have this matching with Trundle and Powder. Let's see, we have Toss a bomb at target, dealing magic damage. 3 mini bombs fly out, dealing magic damage to random enemies. Okay, so I don't know how good this will be. Maybe if you pair it with Powder, so you have a ton of random damage going out, right? Powder will do the AoE, and then Ziggs will keep throwing bombs that will kind of split damage between enemies. It might be doable, but it does seem a little weak just from reading it. I assume he would be a blue buff or Shojin unit with like a jeweled gauntlet, maybe death cap, just full AP carry. I think out of the 2 cost we have Ziggs, Zeri, Tristana carry, Nocturne, Akali. These 5 units look like the ones that could potentially carry. And then we also have some really shiny looking ones like Vander plus Rel. I think these two will be the main tanks from the 2 costs. And then Camille does look really interesting. But I'm not sure about this trait, to be honest, because we only saw 2 units with her main trait, which is herself, and then Steb. Oh no, 3, and then Maddie, right? So unless it's a 3 unit trait, I'm not really sure how you would play this because none of them share the secondary trait. I'm a little confused on Camille where she stands. She looks like she might just be a good unit for early game. You know, slap some items on her. She'll do a ton of damage because she has adaptive damage. But let's keep going. We finally made it to the 3 cost, okay? We are looking at Blitzcrank as our first 3 cost. I assume he's a tank before I even have read anything because he's always a tank. And then I cannot tell what this is, but it does go with Ziggs, right? So we have a little pair here. His passive is after surviving damage, deal 3% of the damage absorbed as magic damage to target. And then his active is gain a shield for 4 seconds, shock the nearest 3 enemies for magic damage, and reduce their damage by 10% for 4 seconds. This is going to get rerolled. I can already see it. This is getting rerolled 100%, right? He's going to be a main tank, and I assume he is going to be played a lot. That's just my base assumption, just from seeing this. His ability is quite good. I don't think the damage is necessary, but the fact he reduces enemy damage by 10%, and he does have a big shield. And now we have Cassiopeia. Okay, so we have Blast Target for magic damage. Every third cast, splash Miasma to 2 enemies within 3 hexes, dealing more magic damage. This is another AoE unit. She pairs with Ziggs. Okay, I see what's going on here. So this might be some sort of like lots of AoE type of team, basically. Something like Cassiopeia, Blitzcrank reroll with the Ziggs in there. And then I don't know what 2 costs you could pair with that though. So I'm not too sure how strong this would be because we see Nocturne shares a trait with Blitzcrank, but Nocturne is an assassin, kind of. It looks like to me, right? This looks like assassin, so I'm not really sure how you would play this or if it would be that strong. But I could see it being rolled together, and then I do think Powder plus Trundle, this little wrench, would probably go well with Ziggs, right? And then you just have a ton of AoE damage. Cassiopeia throwing out Miasma, Ziggs throwing out random bombs, Powder throwing a monkey in the middle of the enemy team. I could see this working. And then the next unit we have is Ezreal. So it goes with Lux and Leona, I believe it was, and this is with Aurelia. These 2 traits were always main traits on the other units we saw. Interesting, so he might be played a lot just as a trait bot, if not for anything else, yeah. We have Essence Flux. Fire a shot towards current target that deals physical damage to all enemies within 1 hex, then deal physical damage to the unit in the center of the blast. Basically, he just does strong single target damage. Doesn't look super special, but I do think 3 cost rerolls are always kind of decent. This is definitely looks like a 3 cost reroll target. This is our AD carry for 3 cost. This is our AP carry, and this is one of our main tanks. I think he'll get played a lot though, just because of the double main trait. Then we have Gangplank, who has the wrench. Okay, interesting. The wrench plus 2 completely new traits, right? I don't think we've seen these in any of the other units we've looked at so far. So that's really weird. Okay, so he's not sharing traits except for his main trait, which is shared with Ziggs, Powder, and Trundle, right? The wrench. But his other 2 traits are just completely unique to 3 cost and up, it looks like. Harvest from Flames, cleanse all negative effects, and heal. Slash, dealing 315% physical damage to enemies in a line. If only 1 enemy is hit, the damage is doubled. Wow, okay. That is a lot of damage if he's hitting 1 unit. Okay, so I think this is also an AD carry. AD carries tend to be a little bit scary though when they're melee units because they're really vulnerable to getting randomly killed. So I'm not sure how good Gangplank is going to be. But this does sound pretty insane. He also has a cleanse, and he will heal himself. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went something like Edge of Night, or maybe if he was actually just sort of like a bruiser. I can't really tell without knowing what his traits do yet, but this looks very playable. This damage is really high. 315% scaling is crazy, especially if you go like IE. I assume this would be crazy. So next we have Kog'Maw. Oh, okay. So we have a 3 cost reroll. Here it is. This is the first one that's easily recognizable. Kog'Maw plus Blitzcrank, right? They share a trait. They're both 3 cost. I assume they're going to be rerolled together. Passive attacks deal Bonus magic damage. Okay, so he is a Shojin unit. He does have sniper. Is active. Gain stacking attack speed for the rest of combat. Oh, okay, okay. Wait, never mind then. I take it back. Maybe he won't use Rage Blade. Maybe you could go just Shojin. I could see Shojin working then, and then you just stack up the attack speed over and over, and you get a ton of range. Oh, and he also has AP scale damage scaling, so maybe just like Jeweled Gauntlet, Guardbreaker, and Shojin. I'm not too sure, but this does look like it could definitely carry. It has Sniper, and it can get rerolled with Blitzcrank, so I absolutely see a 3-cost carry here. 3-star, 3-cost reroll, right? I see that. Okay, Loris, this is a completely new unit. I think this is from Arcane as well. Built over Bulwark. He is a tank, right? He has a like Sentinel looking trait. Gain shield for 4 seconds. It redirects 50% of the damage taken by adjacent allies. When it expires, deal magic in a cone. A lot of the tanks we have this set, it feels like they all deal magic damage in their passive. This one does damage in a cone. We have Blitzcrank who does AoE shocking damage. We have Leona, durability and then does magic damage. Even Rel, right? She gains a shield and then does a lance, which does the magic damage. Every one of our tanks are dealing magic damage, so. But I do think this guy might be rerollable. Redirecting 50% of damage taken by adjacent allies is not that exciting in my opinion. But I don't know what his main trait is. Maybe it will be really good. It does not look as exciting as Blitzcrank plus Kog'Maw. And even all of these 3 costs look really interesting. These here. Okay, now we have Nami. And this looks like another new trait. I don't recognize that main trait. I do see the book. The book I assume is just Sorcerer, which probably gives AP or something. And then we have Ocean's Ebb. Launch a wave at target that bounces 3 times to enemies within 3 hexes and deals magic damage. 120 magic damage at 1 star, 180 at 2 star. I'm not sure how strong this would be. It doesn't really catch my eye. I'm gonna be honest. I'll just keep going. I don't think this. She doesn't look very interesting. She might just get played for her traits, but this ability looks underwhelming. Next, we do have Nunu and Willump, and he has the experiment thing. Okay, interesting. So the experiment, we've only seen, I think, 1 unit per star level, right? Or per cost. We had Zyra, Urgot, and now Nunu and Willump are sharing this main trait. So they all have different costs, right? So this doesn't look like a reroll at all. This looks like something you would level up and play. And we have for 3 seconds gain durability based on AP and create a 2-hex cloud of noxious fumes that deals magic damage to enemies within. Okay, interesting. Afterwards detonate the cloud and deal magic damage to all enemies within. So this is kind of like Nunu's ultimate ability, but it looks like they adjusted it somewhat. Basically, you get really tanky while casting, and then you blow enemies up if they stay within your ability. And then for our bonus, we have after dealing damage, deal max HP bonus magic damage. Also, Nunu is a tank, yeah? Makes sense. They gain durability and they build things up, and they are a bruiser plus this little blood trait. So Nunu might be some sort of reroll potential, like 3-star Nunu. I'm not too sure about that though, because I don't know what you could reroll with this with, since it is a bruiser and it has this experiment trait, which there's no other unit here with that. Next, we have another new unit called Rennie. Okay, Bruiser plus Poison Vial. So that's Singed and I forgot who the other unit was. Singed and someone else. But Sludge Runner's Smash. Heal based on your health and AP over 1.5 seconds. That is a lot of healing, up to 800 at 3-star. For the duration, raise target into the air, stunning them and dealing physical damage. Afterwards, slam them down, dealing more physical damage. This does look like an actual bruiser, not like TFT bruiser. Like it looks like she heals a lot, sustains, tanks, and deals damage. However, obviously there would probably be no backline access, so I don't know how good she would be at carrying. She would definitely need someone um to help her in your backline, I think. So maybe like this guy has poison as well, a poison vial. Maybe all of these poison units will have some good carry in there, and you can play with them together. This might be another 3-cost reroll though. They do have a shared trait here. And next we have Scar with the lightning bolt again. This is Zeri's trait. Lob bombs at the nearest 3 enemies, stunning them. Heal for a certain amount. Is kind of like Shen, right? A little similar. Instead of gaining durability, we heal. but we still have the three nearest enemy stun. Okay, so that's interesting. He'll probably end up being something, right? Because he's the only other unit we've seen with the lightning bolt. So I assume this would be the tank for this particular thing. His secondary trait is also a tank trait. So this definitely looks like it could be a main tank. Though I don't know what you would reroll this with, since we don't really have anyone with matching traits in the 3 cost area. Next is Smeech, new unit as well. Poison trait, poison bio trait just like Rennie. And we have Scrap Hacker, leap towards the enemy with the fewest items within 4 hexes, slash 3 times, dealing a total of physical damage. If they die, leap again, dealing 30% less. Leap towards the enemy with the fewest items. I think this could be absurdly broken depending on his numbers. So we do see the Smeech numbers here. At 3 cost 901 physical damage. That is just going to straight up one shot any squishy unit that doesn't have items, right? Especially if you give him some items, he is going to one shot things. I don't think we've seen anything like this, right? Towards the enemy with the fewest items. Probably not a main carry. Well, since if he gets the kill, he's going to leap again. So he would move away from the area where he leaped to begin with. So it's kind of confusing, but it might be good. Then we have Swain. Okay. This goes with Darius and Rel and Draven. Yeah. So Swain, this could be our main tank. If we 3-star Draven plus Darius and Rel, we might also be able to 3-star Swain in that same comp. And Demonic Ascension, heal and ascend for 6 seconds, while Ascended heal and deal magic damage to adjacent enemies every second. On takedown, the Ascension's duration is extended by 2 seconds. But it is a little strange that he has the same trait as Darius, Rel, and Draven, but then he has this sort of sorcerer looking trait. So I don't know how you would play this comp exactly, but I can imagine that these 4 units would be key. So this might be a 2-4, 2-4-6 trait. I'm not sure yet. We will find out right really soon when we look at the synergies. We're almost through the 3 cost, right? Last one, Twisted Fate. And we have this thing that pairs with Loris, right? Loris plus some of the other new units. And then we have what looks like the assassin trait to me personally. I assume this is assassin. We didn't have this last set. We had this in the set with Zed. Zed was really good, but he was a 4 cost, so it was very different. And yeah, we have wild cards. Throw 3 cards at different targets. Okay, I already don't like this. Different targets is not good. Blue card, restore health to the lowest health ally. Red card, deal magic damage to the largest circle of enemies. And yellow card, deal magic damage to target and stun them for 1 second. Okay, so this is purely a secondary carry because if you go critical build like Jeweled Gauntlet, well, a lot of your damage is going into, it looks like, utility. You have a heal, you have an AoE, and then you have a stun in your set here. So he might just have a really big mana bar, I'm not sure. I assume this would be a Shojin unit, maybe Shojin Jeweled Gauntlet, or Shojin Archangel since you heal more. Yeah, maybe something like Shojin Archangels. I'm not really too sure. Maybe it'll work though. It doesn't look super strong to me. It looks like a secondary carry unit. We finally make it to the 4 cost. The first one we have here is Ambessa, and we have a. Is that a new trait again? No, no. This goes with the other unit. Who was it? Nami. Okay, so Nami plus Ambessa have the same trait here, and then she has the Swain Draven Darius trait, and then it looks like Assassin again. Like I said, Ambessa has Unrelenting Huntress, switches between 2 stances on cast. Chains gain +1 range, attacks deal bonus physical damage, I think. On cast, dash to target and strike in a half circle, dealing physical damage to enemies' heads. Kind of like AD Silas, right? And then Fist, gain Omnivamp and attack twice as fast, okay? On cast, briefly stun target before slamming them into the ground, dealing physical damage, then dashing away. This seems like it could be pretty good. This looks like a Titans unit because we have the AP Omnivamp scaling plus a bunch of AD scaling. So something like just Titans, Bloodthirster, Derrick's would probably. This looks like that unit, you know? That unit that gets those 3 bruiser items. And then next we have Corky with the wrench again. This is our 5th wrench unit. He has Broadside Barrage, lock onto target and strafe to a nearby position, unleashing missiles split between the target and all enemies within 2 hexes. Each missile deals physical damage and reduces armor by 1. I'm not sure if it means unleashing 21 missiles, right? I think that is what it means. Unleashing 21 missiles, which get split. And then each missile deals 28, 42. This is the main number that matters, right? 2-star 4 cost, 42 damage, and reducing armor. This might be a Rage Blade unit. Depends on how long his cast animation is. We'll have to see. And then every 7th missile deals bonus physical damage and reduces armor by 1. Okay, so it's kind of similar to his League of Legends ability, where he just continually shoots little like pellets at the enemy. It looks like. But yeah, we'll see. Dr. Mundo experiments, right? So this experiments, and this one I'm not sure about. Maximum dosage. Become energized. Okay, this is a main tank. Main tank energy already, right? Become energized and heal 1100 over 2 seconds. While energized, deal 128 magic damage to nearby enemy each second. Afterwards, deal a magic damage explosion, basically, to enemies within 2 axes. Experiment bonus. Gain 200 max health on takedown. Gain permanent max health for the rest of combat. Okay, rest of combat. I thought it said permanent. Okay, I was about to say that's crazy. This does seem really good. I assume this is going to be contested every game as a main tank unit, maybe with the secondary trait more often than the main one, but I could see this being played just to be played. It looks like a really good unit. These over here look like, melee AD carry bruiser. This looks like ranged carry, secondary carry potentially. And then we have Echo, another AP unit with the lightning bolt and the little wrench, okay? He has Splitting Seconds, summon an assault of after images that deal magic damage to the target and magic damage to other nearby enemies. After images reduce their target's magic resist by 5 for the rest of combat. It looks like it would be a tank shredder for sure if he's just reducing MR. So maybe this would go well with the not really sure to be honest. Oh, maybe with Smeech, right? But Smeech does AD damage. I'm not too sure about Echo. It looks a little bit strange to me right now. Just looking at all the units we've seen, I don't know what you would play this with. Maybe it's good though. Next, we do have Elise. She has the little rose, the sword, and bruiser. So she has 3 traits again. Who else had 3 traits back here? Okay, so Swain has a little sword as well. Gangplank has it as well. Did anyone else? I'm not too sure about this trait, to be honest, the little sword. It seems really strange, right? We have Swain with it, we have Gangplank with it, and now we have Elise, and they are all 3 and 4 costs. Jump to a nearby enemy and web all enemies. Okay, well, okay, I just had to read her ability. This is gonna get played every game, surely, right? It's a bruiser, and she does an AoE stun. It's just like Tom Kench, like Jarvan, all of those units that have their, big AoE stuns. Annie, right? Stunning enemies and dealing damage and healing. Okay, yeah, this is just some tank. Maybe a secondary tank because you don't want her to die, but she will always get her stun off. So I think this is going to get a lot of play. Next, we do have Garen, who goes with Nami plus Nbessa. And then he has the tank secondary, Demacian Justice. Okay. After dealing damage, heal. Okay, I can see that. Based on max health. Active, gain a shield for 4 seconds based on max health and AP. Slam a massive sword on target, dealing physical damage to them and physical damage to enemies within 2 axes. There's so many AoE damage units this set. It's very, very, very strange. Maybe you could play Garen and Bessa plus the Nami. They all do AoE damage. And then whatever other units have this trait. Garen looks like he might use Titans. But it's a little weird because he has max health scaling. So I don't know if you'd want him to be a damage dealer or just a pure tank. There's a chance this is just, Warmog's Bramble, Warmog's Gargoyles. But I can't tell. Can't tell quite yet. It could also be good with Steric's Gauge, right? Steric's Gauge gives you max HP. So it could just be like Titans, Steric's Gauge, Bloodthirster, just like any other bruiser. Next we have Heimerdinger with the gear looking traits. Heimerdinger as like an engineer. So this is like probably some sort of engineering mechanics trait, right? The blood trait I still am not sure about. It looks, yeah, a little bit confusing to me. But we have Progress with a lot of S's. Then he fires 5 missiles. I'm saying the 2-star. Fire 5 missiles at random enemies that deal 86 damage. Each cast fires 1 more missile than the last. Oh, okay, so Shojin units, right? He always needs at least 1 Shojin or 1 blue buff. It depends what his max mana is. The only issue is all these like random damage dealt, AoE damage dealt, right? quirky AoE split between target and all enemies. Uh, Ambessa dealing damage to adjacent enemies. This means that they're losing damage on their main targets, basically. So I really am not sure how good this will be as well. The strongest 4 cost tier so far looks to be the potentially the Ambessa, to be honest. I could see Ambessa popping off if you have a good team with whatever this trait is. Dr. Mundo seems really strong as a tank, and so does Elise. These are the three ones that are catching my eye right now. Ambessa, Dr. Mundo, and Elise. So yeah, Heimerdinger, interesting, but I don't really like the random damage. It reminds me of TF from when you could play Disco, but it does really depend on what this trait is. So yeah, we'll keep moving. Alawi has the little creepy smile is back to join us again. Plus off tank secondary trait. Gain 50% durability for 3 seconds. Over the duration, drain 75 health from the nearest 4 enemies. Oh, so sort of like a Nasus. Then slam down, dealing damage based on armor and MR. Magic damage to all enemies within 2 hexes. Okay, so she's going to be a main tank for whatever this creepy smile trait is. You'll probably just give her gargoyles, and like a warmonks or something, and call it a day. Yeah, that's what I see there. Next we have Silco. Okay, I've never seen this, but I have heard about him. I think he's also from Arcane. And we have the poison trait back. So this is giving me Zon vibes. Well, actually no, Zon seems more like the experiment. Which actually, wait, Twitch has Zon, or experiment, sorry. Zon used to be where you would give specific units upgrades, and you could move the upgrades around between the units, but this is different because it's an experiment bonus, right? And they all have unique bonuses. I'm not too sure. But yeah, back to Silco. We have the Poison Vial again, is back to join us, and Canned Monstrosity. Throw a canister at target, dealing magic damage to them and releasing monstrosities. Monstrosities attack 5 times and deal 55 magic damage per hit. I wonder, would that work with I don't know, but I assume there will be a way to play Silco as a dual carry, probably. Maybe something like Silco plus, maybe Silco plus Corki, double range carries. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, moving on. We have Twitch, Spray, and Pray. For the next 8 seconds, gain 85% attack speed, infinite range, and replace attacks with a piercing bolt that targets random enemies? Ooh, I don't like that. You gain a lot of attack speed, but then you attack random enemies. I really don't like that. It makes the positioning a lot less skillful, in my opinion, because you're not actually choosing where your attacks are going to end up, in a sense, right? You can't really guide it. It's just going to be random. And the bolts deal 172 physical damage, reduced by 40% for each enemy they pass through. And then experiment bonus after every 5 attacks, deal physical damage to the nearest enemy equal to 20% of their max health. Okay, well this bonus seems really good, but I'm still a little bit concerned. I really dislike the random damage because if you're playing a main carry, you don't want it to be doing this, right? This twitch effect, this quirky effect where we're just hitting a bunch of random things. It's not really great. Same thing with Heimerdinger, missiles at random enemies. There is potential that you'd play these together somehow. Just like, in every set after the first few weeks or the first month or two, people tend to find out which units go together. So a lot of these random damage dealt units might end up being played together in some really, you know, min-maxed comp eventually. But just Twitch on his own, I would not depend on this unit to carry me at all. Maybe Silco, potentially Silco could carry. And then I really like Elise as a tank. I really like Mundo as a tank more than Alawi. Elise and Mundo look great. Ambessa also looks quite good. And then, yeah, that's about it. I don't really like these other units. They look okay. They don't stand out to me. And I think I actively dislike what I see from Heimerdinger's ability here and Twitch's. So, yeah. We'll keep going though. We have Vi. Okay, this little fist thing is back. We haven't seen this trait like at all, so I really don't know what this is going to do. And her ability is Wrecking Crew. Also, I said Vi might be in this, and she is. She's a 4 cost, and the Violet. Wait, is Violet her mom? Okay, sorry if I don't want to get sidetracked, but I wonder if Violet is Vi's mother, because her name is Vi and her mom's name is Violet. That would make sense. But yeah, anyways, Wrecking Crew gain a shield for 3 seconds, then stun target, slam them down, dealing physical damage to them and causing a shockwave in their row. Enemies hit take physical damage and are briefly. Oh, okay. It seems quite good against other teams with lots of melee units. It seems like it wouldn't be very good against a a lot of range units. But if you're into someone who has a lot of melee units, this will probably destroy them, right? That is a crazy ability. Knocking up everyone and shockwaving. Yeah, like this seems quite good. But yeah, this is not quite as exciting as the other ones though. Like just the ones that look like the most well-rounded are probably Elise Mundo and Ambessa, and then maybe Silco. So Vi seems a little like side carry, like she'll just be on your team somewhere. She'll never get the items. And then Zoe, we have the creepy smile again. Alawi Zoe, okay, I see. So this is a level 8 comp, right? Alawi Zoe with all the other creepy smile units, and she must be a sorcerer. So I assume you'd play maybe 6 of these units, 5 or 6. I don't know how many you need for this trait. You'd play probably 5, 6, 7 of these units, and then you'd have a sorcerer in there for 2 sorcerer, or maybe 2 sentinels, something like that. We are going to find out really soon. We're getting to the synergies in a few minutes here. But yeah, Zoe Paddle Star. Launch a star at the target that deals magic damage. It bounces to the farthest enemy within 4 hexes, then bounces back to the target. This effect repeats 2 times, hitting a different enemy each time. Okay, okay. So maybe this plus like Heimerdinger could actually work. The only issue is he's not a sorcerer, the Heimerdinger. So which sorcerer could we play with this? I don't really know. Maybe the Nami. She also has the bouncing effect. So maybe something like with Nami in there with the Zoe, and they just keep bouncing around the enemies, all their abilities. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now we finally made it to the best part and also the longest part by far, the 5 cost. The text is so long it doesn't fit on one page. Okay, interesting. So we have Caitlyn. Okay, Caitlyn is back. That makes sense because I think she's in Arcane and she has this little trait. We don't know quite what it is yet. This, I believe, is Sniper. And yeah, Air Raid. Okay, I'm so excited. Enter a sniper stance and call in an airship that circles the battlefield for 5 seconds, dropping 4 bombs at a random cluster of enemies over the duration. Bombs deal 210 physical damage in a 1 hex circle. Okay, that just sounds crazy. um, Hitting random clusters of enemies with bombs. Okay, interesting. Whenever an enemy is caught in the epicenter of an air raid blast, reduce their armor and MR by 20 and fire a shot towards them. Wow, okay. So this must be amazing with Infinity Edge. I assume this is going to take a lot of mana, so it's probably going to be Shojin, but I think red buff could also be incredible here. Since you're going to be applying sort of AoE splash damage to everyone, maybe like red buff, Infinity Edge, and Last Whisper. And yeah, that looks great. Sniper, I assume she'll be a main carry. Then moving on, we have Jace with the sword and the little gear. These are both new traits. I don't really know what they are quite yet. Special Delivery. Passive. Summon a placeable Hextech Forge. On cast, the 3 allies closest to it gain a shield for 4 seconds. If it's dead, revive it with 100% health. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, okay. So basically, he summons it automatically, and it'll keep casting. If it ever does die, then it gets revived. It's a little confusing, but I think I understand. Then here, active. Summon 2 hex gates and knock target into one of them, dealing physical damage and sending them flying back to their original position. When flying, they deal physical damage to all other enemies in the path. Okay, this is gonna be really, really dependent on how good the AI is. If the AI is not good, this is probably not going to be good. If it's good, it's going to be great, right? Because it says it'll deal damage to enemies in the path. Well, if the pathing is terrible, it's not going to be good, right? We'll see with Jace. Caitlyn looks great, though. I like Caitlyn. Jinx with the creepy smile. Ruin everything. Jinx alternates between Zap, Flame Chompers, and Death Rocket for her ability. Zap, deal physical damage to enemies in a line and stun them. And then Flame Chompers deal 239 physical damage to 3 1 hex circles of enemies. Is that random? The targeting isn't really specified. I like the stun. The stuns are always quite nice, right? Death Rocket. Fire a rocket at the center of the board that deals physical damage to all enemies. Reduced by 10% for each hex they are away from the epicenter. Okay, this is amazing. This looks amazing at least. Um, Jinx looks like she'll be great, but it really depends on her mana cost. I don't know if this is a Rage Blade unit, a Shojin unit, but I'm sure you will need one of them. And I'm also sure you will need Infinity Edge, plus either like Guardbreaker, Giant Slayer, Deathblade, like one of the damage items to pair. But the main thing looks like Rage Blade or Shojin and Infinity Edge. Looks like a must-have, I think, because you're gonna alternate between Zap and then Flame Chomper and then Death Rocket. If I'm understanding correctly, it goes 1, 2, 3, right? And Death Rocket is what you want to be casted. If you cast this twice, I assume you'll just kill everything with that, yeah? And we have LeBlanc with the black rose thing or white rose thing. Well, I mean, there's no color, but she looks like Faker when she's wearing all black. So, yeah. And then we have the sorcerer, I assume, sorcerer trait. The chains of fate chain together the nearest enemies for 5 seconds, dealing 0 damage. That's 90. 90 is nothing. Okay. When one takes damage, 25% of the amount is split as bonus true damage to the others. Oh, that's really weird. I don't think we ever had anything like that. I've never seen anything like that as long as I've played TFT. And then LeBlanc's next three attacks deal 288 bonus damage, increased by 50% for each enemy killed by the initial damage. The initial damage of the chain? Okay, so if you do manage to kill something with a 90 damage chain, this is really low, by the way. This is incredibly low. Like this is 10% of the health of a one cost tank. So she doesn't really seem like a damage dealer, but she will supplement your other carries by a lot. It looks like, and since she has the black rose thing, I wonder this might be really good with other units with the random splash damage, right? Like maybe Silco or potentially Ambessa even. Things that hit a lot of the units, right? Because then they'll take bonus true damage. Jinx, Caitlyn look incredible. I'm probably gonna end up playing these a ton. I assume these are gonna be S tier units. Moving along, we have Malzahar, Call of the Machine, and he has the Blitzcrank slash Kog'Maw trait, plus the Blood Drop thing. Summon a gate in a 5 hex line across targets. Enemies hit take magic damage and are 20% shredded. Oh, I don't like shred on my main carry. I don't know about that, but okay. Malzahar spreads 5 stacks of infection between enemies hit. Okay, okay, interesting. Infection deals magic damage per second for the rest of combat. This effect can stack infinitely. Oh, okay. That's interesting. When an infected target dies, they spread their stacks to nearby enemies. Okay, okay. So this might be a main carry, actually. I take it back. He does seem like he takes quite a while to scale. I assume you'd want like Shojin? I don't know how much mana he has, right? This could even be double Shojin. Maybe like double Shojin Archangels. Or like Shojin Archangels Morellonomicon. I could see these builds working. And then you could play him with the 3 cost reroll, right? You reroll Kog'Maw's Blitzcrank, and then you go level 8, and you pray you hit Malzahar. Something like that, right? I could see that happening. Yeah, okay. And then we have Mordekaiser with the Darius Draven traits here. Grasp of the Iron Revenant. Okay, sounds sick. Briefly gain 40% durability and summon a massive claw, dealing magic damage to the most enemies in a line. The 4 closest enemies take 25% more damage and are pulled towards Mordekaiser. For the next 10 seconds, gain Omnivamp, attack range, and replace every attack with a slam. Okay. To the target, and magic damage to all other enemies within 2 axes. Wow, okay. So this is like a giga main carry. This is like the main carry, melee carry, it looks like. It looks like the main melee carry is going to be Mordekaiser at 5 cost. This is pretty sick. This is like looks like 1v9 sort of unit, right? If anything. And then the secondary melee carry would probably be Ambessa. I don't really see potential in an Echo or Garen or Vi. These are kind of look like supplemental units. They don't look like main carries to me. Ambessa though, maybe Ambessa and Mordekaiser are like our main carries, right? And then we have Rumble with a special trait. Okay, we have no clue what that does, right? It's just a completely unique trait to Rumble. It looks like him. In the gear and Sentinel, so he might be a tank. Okay, the Equalizer. Call down a rain of 5 missiles on target's row that deal A lot of damage, 750 magic damage. Wound and burn units for 5 seconds. For each missile that doesn't hit an enemy, restore 20 mana. Okay, bro is gonna have the biggest mana bar, right? There's no way, right? It must be like 100 and what 160 mana bar, 140, 50, something like that. That's if it's not, I'm gonna be really shocked because this is a lot of mana to get back. So basically, if you target one unit and only one missile is hitting it, then you'll get 80 mana back for the missing missiles. So you get like maybe half your mana back if you only hit one unit. Okay, okay. I can't see that being super, super strong, but I definitely can see that being played as like a secondary carry. Okay. If there's only one enemy left, fire all of the missiles at them. Okay, that's pretty funny. You're just gonna have, like you're just like you imagine you're just a little old Lux in the back. You're the last unit alive, and Rumble just fires 5 missiles at you. Oh my god. Okay, that's pretty funny though. Yeah. Last unit, Sevica. This looks completely new as well. This looks like it's from Arcane. The artwork even looks like an Arcane unit. She has a completely unique trait. She has the Poison Vial and the Boxing Glove. Her ability is Beat the Odds. Randomly cast one of 3 spells with a chance of a jackpot. Oh god, here we go. Okay, here we go. Flamethrower. Deal true damage. 350 true damage to target every second until death. Enemies in a cone around them take 50% less as physical damage. So she's just gonna melt a tank if she casts this. Absolutely melt the tank. Then we have Extendo Punch, deal 1050 physical damage and knock them away. Then dash to them and deal more in a 1 hex radius. So this is going to be really RNG and also skill based. Because you really have to think about positioning with a unit like this. You need to think about where the unit you're knocking is going to get knocked back to. And if old legendaries are any sort of indicator, then I assume the knockback means knock them back until they hit something. So either they hit a wall or they hit another unit. In which case, she's going to throw your main tank all the way to the back and you just lose the fight immediately because now your main tank is no longer in your front line. She'll throw him to the back line and jump back there. So that seems really strong potentially. Next, we have Chomp as her third ability. Deal 1120 damage to the target. If they are left with less than 15% health, execute them and cast again on the lowest health target within 2 hexes, dealing 80% damage. Okay, so she looks again somewhat like a more mechanical 5 cost, not necessarily a carry. I don't think I'd make this a carry. Mordekaiser looks like a carry. Malzahar looks like a carry, right? Scale, like he'll scale slowly through the fight. Mordekaiser's just a beast, right? He's gonna be in the front line hitting everything. Jinx is gonna blow up the whole board. Same thing for Caitlyn, blow up the whole board and then shoot sniper rounds into the backline or something. These other 4 units here look a bit more like secondary carries, but it does look like there's not a single real support unit. I'm kind of shocked. No real like support unit or even tank. These all just look like carries, right? Everything looks like damage, damage, damage. Um, LeBlanc is more of a support one. If anything, Jace might be a sort of support one as well, right? It's kind of strange. I'm not too sure. But yeah, these 4 caught my eye, right? Caitlyn, Jinx, Malzahar, and Mordekaiser. And we did it, guys. We made it through all the champions. How long is the recording? Let me peek really quickly. Okay, we are 1 hour and 11 minutes in. This is insane. But we got through the longest part of the video. We are now going to start looking really quickly. Yeah, we saw all the exclusive champions, right? These are all the new champions, Arcane champions. We already talked about them. And yeah, now we're going to look at the synergies, okay? So we finally get to understand all these little symbols we've been looking at. Number 1, Academy. Yep, Lux, Leona, Ezreal, Heimerdinger, and Jace. The Academy sponsors 3 items each game. Copies of sponsored items grant bonus max health and damage amp. Academy units holding sponsored items gain double the amount, plus an additional 5% health and damage amp. Okay, so it looks like Ezreal might actually be a main carry. Ezreal plus Heimerdinger, dual carry. And this is interesting. Depending on how this works and how augments are, maybe we'll have augment traits like Crown Guarded. And then if you get a sponsored Crown Guard, you could have like a crazy tanky unit that's getting bonus max health and damage amp, something like that. And then Automata. This also doesn't really seem like a viable um, super viable if these are random. Sponsoring 3 items, if they're random, this is not the most viable thing, but it could be really fun and really strong depending on what you get. Also, I don't know if it's unique, like each player gets 3 different items or you all get the same sponsored items. If it's everyone gets the same, it's gonna be a mess because if it's a good sponsor, then everyone's gonna try and play it. It's not gonna be great. And then here we have Automata. Okay, so this is the little like portal looking thing with all the mechanical looking units. Mumu, Nocturne, Blitzcrank, Kog'Maw, and Malzahar. Automata gain a crystal when they deal damage. At 20 crystals, they blast their current target, dealing magic damage plus 20% of damage dealt since the previous blast. And reset. They also gain armor and MR. Okay, so that makes sense. Since Malzahar looks like he really wants to scale slowly. And so does Kog'Maw. This is Kog'Maw, yes? Yes, okay. So yeah, Kog'Maw Blitzcrank, I already said I thought this would be a reroll. There's no way this is not going to be a 3-cost reroll, especially with something like this, right? You can get 40 armor MR, and they get stacking damage throughout the fight. And then we have Black Rose. Okay, so it is a Black Rose, okay. And we have Morgana, Vladimir, Cass, Elise, and LeBlanc. Oh, this is hard to play. This is really hard to play. You have to get lucky to find Elise, and then you have to get an emblem. Yes? Otherwise, how are you going to get 5? You're never going to find LeBlanc until level 9, right? Unless you're really lucky. So I assume this is like 2-1, I get a Black Rose emblem. I play this immediately. If not, I don't play this. So yeah. Summon a Chain Scion. He is freed after 5 casts from Black Rose units, or when he drops below 65% health. Scion grows stronger, and his enemies take more damage from Black Rose units. Scion unleashes dark magic and heals to full when freed. The issue I have with this is that none of these units are carries. I'm not really sure how you would play this. Okay, Cassiopeia is a blue buff unit after all. She has 40 mana. Kog'Maw as well looks like a blue buff unit. Blue buff or Shojin. And then Heimerdinger also a blue buff unit. Lux is a Shojin unit, it looks like. So this is very, very strange. Also, Malzahar has 105 mana, so that's Shojin for sure. And yeah, LeBlanc also. So I'm not really sure. None of these look like they can carry. So I don't know how good Black Rose will be. I would not play this unless you get an emblem. That's my instinct. Otherwise, how are you going to find 4? You can't find Elise until at least level 5, right? And realistically, not until level 7. And even at level 7, you would have to get lucky. So probably not a main carry augment. Automata looks like it's going to get played every game. Blitzcrank Kog'Maw. Academy also looks like it probably end up getting played every game. Just in combination with something. Because Leona is a tank, you could easily play a lot of Leona tank combo units. Okay. Next we have Cambarin. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gain Shimmer after each player combat. If your loss streak is at least 3, gain more. At each stack of 100 Shimmer, the black market offers you contraband that only Cambarins can use. Cambarins gain max health for each black market you pass on. So this is kind of like a lose streak augment. However, you can win. If your loss streak is at least 3, you gain more. But that means you can win. So maybe if you get enough of these early, you could actually win streak. Though if you do have 4 Cambarin early on, I could see this being really strong. You could try and take really minimal losses, and then you could stack up really quickly, right? 40 per loss. Every 5 losses would give you 2 contraband. It really depends on Silco, I think. If Silco is strong enough, this could be really good, and you can depend on that cash out and actually win the game off of it. Moving on, we have Conquer. Wow, there's not that many, thank God, because I want to make this video shorter than 2 hours, if possible. But yeah, Conquer. Conqueror's takedowns grant stacks of conquest. After gaining enough conquest, open war chests full of loot. Conquerors gain AD and AP increased by 3% for each war chest opened. Ah, okay. So basically, this is Spoils of War as a trait. I see. And similarly to the other traits we just looked at, Black Rose, Cambarin, I probably wouldn't play this without an emblem, I think. Unless you can get 4 really easily somehow. Like if you get a Lucky Swain early game, then you can probably force Conquer and play 4 Conquer and then it'll be good enough. But if you never find Mordekaiser, you're going to struggle. So I don't think this looks super playable without an emblem, but I could see it working still. Yeah, especially since, like I said, I think these 3 units could get rerolled. These 3 here. So if you get an emblem, then you can reroll Darius, Draven, and Rel, and I could see that working. Plus some other thing, right? I'm sure it'll get optimized really quickly. We're gonna find exactly what units to play, right? And we'll know within, you know, 3 weeks or something. But yeah, next we have Emissary, which has only 4 units. Okay, Garen, Ambessa, Nami, and Tristana. This trait is active only when you have exactly 1 or 4 unique emissaries. Okay, so this is like all or nothing. You have to play one or play none. Gain that emissary's bonus. Can we see them? Why can't we see the bonuses here? Okay, well, gain all bonuses at 4, and then emissaries gain 330% bonus damage. I don't think this would be that good. 4, I mean. I don't think 4 emissaries would be good. If the whole team is gaining the bonus from just putting in one single unit, we're going to see one of these units on every single team. Probably Garen and Bessa are going to be extremely contested. So I don't think these units are going to be super playable as main carries. That's my take already from seeing this. But this is really interesting regardless. Yeah. But like I said, I expect it to be on every team. So we'll see. Enforcer. Okay, we finally get to see what this does. Combat start. Enforcers gain shield and damage amp. The highest health enemy units become wanted. When a wanted enemy dies, enforcers gain 30% attack speed at 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so this looks super playable most games, but if you don't have an emblem, you're never getting 8. This does look really playable though. Oh, so this is where you get to play Camille. Okay, I see. So Camille is your early game carry, and then you can actually move those items from Camille to Vi. So it'd probably be something like Bloodthirster, Sterix, Titans, and you move them to Vi late game, and then you can have your main tank be this Loris guy, and then you could have TF with some AP items like a Shojin and like an Archangels or something. And yeah, that looks super playable actually. I could see this getting played a lot. People are probably gonna like this, especially since you could probably also reroll these one costs. But this looks like one of those traits where you really don't want to play it unless you're trying to go level 8, level 9. Then you could play like, 8 Enforcer with an emblem and then throw in a random emissary or something or some other strong unit. For here, I think like throwing in a Garen, for example, could be quite good. I don't know what his bonus is, but he's a tank and you'll get a bonus from playing him. So I could definitely see this working. And then we get to see experiment. Okay, so I was right. The experiment bonus thing is just called experiment. We have 5 experiment units, a 1, 2, 3 cost, and then 2, 4 costs. And we have gain laboratory hexes on your board. Okay, so like maybe like Umbral or something. And then combat start. Experiments standing on the hexes gain the experiment bonuses of all experiments on laboratory hexes. Okay, that's a little bit confusing, but I think I get it. Basically, we get 2 laboratories at 3 units. This is a very weird trait, by the way. 1, 2, and 3 cost, and then 2, 4 cost. And you're not hitting 7 that often. Unless it's craftable. If it's craftable, I guess you're hitting it more often. If this isn't craftable, I don't see this getting played very much. Because you're only ever going to be able to hit 5, and you have to be level 8 to play the 2, 4 cost, right? So this looks very difficult to play. I don't know how much play this is going to see. And then, like I said, I don't like Twitch either. Random bolts, random firing is not appealing to me. So let's keep going though. Let's keep going. Oh, family. Okay, okay. So these are family. I wonder if Vi is Violet's daughter as well. I don't know who Powder is though, because I know Vi and Jinx are sisters, right? And she also has blue hair, so I'm a little confused. But we have Vander, Violet, and Powder, the 3 new units with the family trait. Family members support each other, reducing their max mana and gaining extra bonuses. Oh, okay. So at 3 we get damage reduction plus durability. I believe that is right. And then at 4 we get more damage reduction plus we also get AD. Wait, isn't Powder an AP unit? Which she is. So this doesn't seem very good already because they only support each other, right? But that means that, okay, I don't really like this already, the 4 trait here. At the 5 trait, we have 40% reduction. Heist on top side. After combat, progress the heist. Increased for each surviving family member. So if there's traits to get an emblem, then I could see this being okay because you can put the damage reduction and AD on some melee unit. I do think this would get rerolled somehow. I already talked about potential combos, right, when I was looking at champions. Maybe, but this is a little underwhelming. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a huge fan of this already. So we'll see though. Next, we have Firelight. Every 6 seconds, Firelights dash. While dashing, they attack with infinite range and heal a percentage of the damage taken since their last death. Okay, but even if they attack with infinite range, if they dash, this one's a little bit strange. It really depends how they dash. So if they dash a small amount, right? Let's say we're back row and we dash over 1 hex, then we're still going to hit the same target, right? After the dash ends. However, if we're dashing really far, let's say we dash 3 hexes or something, like Kaisa in one of the previous sets, she'll dash really far and then she will kind of, sometimes you'll switch aggro, you'll switch to a different unit. That's not really a good thing though. You don't want to be switching targets after your dash. You want to hit the same target so you can kill it, right? It's also after every 6 seconds, which is a little strange. But okay, we have 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it only goes up to 4. So this will probably get played a lot regardless because you only need one emblem. And you have 25% of damage taken. You heal for percentage of the damage taken since the last dash. So you heal up to 45% of damage taken between dashes. While dashing, you also gain a massive burst of attack speed. Okay, this is really, really strange. This is without actual gameplay. I can't tell how good this is. I cannot tell. Um, we have a 2 cost ADC carry, and we have 1 3 cost tank. So I can't really tell how good this will be. Um, I do see a lot of potential though, because this healing is a lot of healing. Um, so it could be quite good. Maybe if this Scar guy is a beast, he'll perform really well. He could solo carry. Like you go, I don't know, Warmog's Redemption. I assume he'll always run a Redemption or Dragon Claw, so you can make up that lost health, and then like a maybe a Gargoyles or something. So I think it depends on how well these two perform. If these two units are not balanced, this is going to get played every game. This would be S tier, right? Rebels gain 12% max health. After your team loses 30% of their health, a smoke signal appears, granting Rebels 60% attack speed for 4 seconds and extra power for the rest of combat. Okay, Rebels gain max health, and then after they lose health, they gain a bunch of attack speed. And they gain AD and AP once it procs. We have 2 4 costs in it, so this could be a level 8 comp with a... Or sorry, yeah, level 8 comp, you play 7, right? And you get a stun. Okay, I just noticed that. You get your Dragon Lord stun, right? 5 Dragon Lord, you get a 2-second stun. At 7, Rebel, massive stun. You get a huge health boost, and you also get a bunch of AD and AP. I could see this getting played easily. Probably going to be S tier for the entire set. It does really depend on Ezreal and Zoe, it looks like. So it does depend on the balance of these two units as well. And then we have Scrap. Okay, so the wrench is called Scrap. And let's see, combat start. Components held by scrap units temporarily turn into full items. Scrap units gain shield for 30 seconds for each component held by your team, including those that make up a full item. And then at 2 scrap units, we get 1 full item from the component, I think, right? So it works. And then at 4, 3 of our components can get converted into temporary full items. So this could be really strong early. Basically, you get Powder, Trundle, Ziggs, and maybe an emblem, or you get a lucky Gangplank drop on your PvE round. Then you can play 4 scrap. You get a ton of items for free early game, and that shield is really strong. When you have a small, flat scaling shield like this, it's really strong in the early game. It's kind of how like Umbral before, you get the Umbral shield and it'd be crazy strong, right? Because you just get like 500 shield on all your units at the start of the fight, and that early game is way too much health, right? So this could be really good for win streaking if you get a good start with this. I probably wouldn't force this. It doesn't look like it'd be good because you're basically going to Echo and Corki, which I think both look kind of lackluster. Rumble looks pretty good, but Healy's going to be way too difficult to get. And he has 120 mana bar, so... Oh, it's actually smaller than I thought, 120 mana bar. Okay, so he's better than I thought. It's not all the way up like 160, 140 at least. But yeah, this looks like you really have to have the opener for it. You can't really force this. But yeah, okay. Then we have High Roller. Okay, we have our legendary unique traits. Sevika. When casting, she rolls a random Jinx modification to her ability and gains 80% durability for 1.5 seconds. Mods. Rocket. Launch 8 rockets that deal 100 physical damage each. Shield. Gain 500 shield for 4 seconds. Coin. Gain 3 gold. Gain 3 gold. Okay, it's a slot machine. um, Yeah, I'm not too sure about her. I think the extendo punch could be insane if it works how I think, and she knocks the tank. Like you put her in front of the enemy tank, she knocks them all the way back. Then you can get into the enemy backline. That would be really strong. But I don't know about this trait. This trait looks kind of strange. And then we have Junker King Rumble. Okay, every 3 rounds, open an armory to purchase permanent upgrades to your strongest Rumble's mech. Okay, so he's just an upgradable legendary. So he might be insane. If you get him early, oh, if you get him early, that could be really good. You get the Junker King on stage 3 randomly. You're super lucky. You're high rolling. You play him. I don't think it matters what you have on your board. If you get this early, you probably just play it and you go with it because you're going to be upgrading him. And I assume the upgrades are going to make him extremely broken if you get enough of them. Probably after 3 upgrades or so, you'd be really, yeah, he'd be doing a ton of damage or something, or really tanky. I'm not too sure what the upgrades are, but this looks really good. So if you get Rumble early, guys, I'm pretty sure you should play him, okay? Don't just like pass up on a Rumble. And now we have the secondary traits, the class synergies. Okay, how many do we have here? 8, 12. Okay, we have 12. And then we also have something called new team up synergies. Oh god. Okay, we'll look in a moment. We'll look in a moment. We have Ambusher. Okay, so this is what I said. Actually, no, this is another one. Oh, okay. I was looking at Quick Striker. This one. Okay, so Ambusher. Damage from Ambusher's abilities can critically. Oh, okay. So I got it confused. Quick Striker is not the assassin trait. The assassin trait is Ambusher, which is this sort of like gauntlet looking thing. And basically, you just get critical strike chance and critical strike damage, and your abilities can crit. Very simple. You know, nothing complicated about that. Artillerist, there's only 4, but we have a 6 trait. Okay, so this has to be craftable, right? Surely. Every 5 attacks, artillerists launch a rocket that deals 125% attack damage around the target. They also gain AD. Okay, this is going to get played a lot more than I thought, I think. Because Urgot, even if he's not, even if the experiment trait doesn't look forcible, this looks forcible because you can always play Tristana if you get her early. You start Trist early, you give her a Rage Blade. She has a bunch of AD from her passive. She just spam attacking and doing a bunch of explosions with her auto attacks. Yeah, I could see this working really well. So this seems like if you get the Trist, you play it. If not, you don't. Ambusher seems like maybe trait. It's probably going to be augment dependent, whether or not you play Ambusher. Or maybe you just play 2 Ambusher sometimes, just for the, the effect on your Ambusher unit. Bruiser, 6 Bruiser is the max, and you only have 6 Bruisers in the game. This is just going to be like sometimes you play it, sometimes you don't. There's probably going to be some specific comps where you play 5 of the Bruisers, you have a Bruiser emblem for 6, and then you play 4 of something else, and those are your carries. Then on top of that, we have Dominator. Combat start, Dominators gain a shield for 15 seconds. When Dominators cast, they gain stacking AP based on mana spent. There's 6 of them, and it goes up to 6, 2, 4, 6. And I already said I think Blitzcrank is going to get rerolled with Kog'Maw. So this could easily be like you're playing the Kog'Maw reroll with Blitzcrank and then you throw in a Mundo at level 8, or you throw in a Silco at level 8. Oh wait, they gain stacking AP based on the mana spent. Oh wait. I didn't even really think about it when I read it. This could be a 3-cost reroll for sure. Blitzcrank, Cassiopeia, and Kog'Maw. So this looks like it's going to get played a lot, like probably every game. This would get played every game, probably. Artillers as well. Rebel probably will as well. Firelight maybe, but I'm not sure about that. And then yeah, Conquer every game probably. Yeah, some of these, right? These they like stand out very clearly. I think they will get played every game because they look very strong. They look very strong. Next we have Form Swapper. Okay, so this is what this is. This sword thing is a Form Swapper. Okay, so it's like sword or shield. I think that's what it's supposed to be. And there's 4 units here. Swain, Gangplank, Elise, and Jace. Okay. Form swappers change their stats and ability based on if they're placed in the front 2 or back 2 rows. Frontline form swappers gain durability. Backline form swappers gain damage. Okay. Okay, Riot, please, have we not learned anything? Riot, have we not learned anything about giving units 40% damage amp for no reason? Okay, I don't know if there's going to be an emblem for this. If there is, this is gonna see so much play. There's no way, right? 30% 30% durability is crazy for a 4 trait, and 40% damage amp is insane for a 4 trait. I think Gangplank, I already said it, 315% physical damage is ridiculous. That scaling is already crazy. So I see him getting played regardless. And if you can play 4 with an emblem, you don't have to find Jace. This is gonna get played so often, this would be easily S tier. And that's my take. Alright, let's keep going. Very simple. Pit Fighter, the little boxing glove. Interesting. Draven, Violet, Gangplank, Vi. Okay, yeah, Sevica. Pit fighters gain Omnivamp and deal bonus true damage. Once per combat at 50% health, they heal a percentage of their max health over 2 seconds. Oh, you can go up to 8, but you would have to get 2 emblems. Okay. 20% true damage, 40% healing. Okay, so this might just be one of those traits where you basically play the Conquerors, right? The Dravens, those things. And then you also just throw in a little Pit Fighter here just to go with the other units. Maybe you throw in a random Vi if you level up and find her. She does her knock up, her stun. Very nice. I don't think this will be a main trait. I don't see these units being strong enough with just this effect. So this is probably going to just compensate or like add to something else that people optimize and find out. And yeah, Quick Striker. I was thinking this was Assassin the whole time. It wasn't. It's something else. This is Assassin, right? The Ambusher trait. Quick Striker, though, we have 4 units, Akali, Nocturne, TF, and Ambessa. Quick Strikers move faster and gain attack speed based on their target's missing health. Okay, interesting. And it's only up to 4. Okay, so this is going to get played some of the time. This looks kind of like maybe potentially B or A tier, depending on your augments. And if you can 3-star Akali Nocturne for free, I assume you'd do that. But basically at 4 you get a bunch of AD, on target death, quick strikers dash to a new target and gain a shield. Okay, yeah. So if you can do this uncontested, Nocturne Akali reroll, it really depends on how good these units are. Akali in the last set 12, she was really lackluster in my opinion. Depending on how good she is here, this is gonna get played. If you're uncontested, this is probably a first or a top 4 easily. Okay. Next is Sentinel. I was right. Sentinel never changes. Good old Sentinel, right? We have 7 of them. Armor MR for the whole team. Sentinels get triple. Okay. Yep. Very simple. So this is going to get played a lot. You're just going to have 2 Sentinel on random teams, right? You'll probably just have a random Alawi on your team or this guy Loris or something. Just throw him in and you get Sentinel Armor MR. It's perfect. Next we have Sniper. Center it. Sniper are 5 snipers I was mentioning, right? Snipers deal more damage to targets farther away, and it goes up based on how many hexes you are away, okay? Very simple. You get an emblem, you get max range, you can attack across the entire board. In previous sets, we had a lot of something like 4 sentinel, 4 sniper type of comps, so I could easily see both of these going together somehow. People will figure out the optimal comp, right? Either 4 sentinels or like 4 bruisers or something, right? Like four of some tank or 6 of some tank plus 4 snipers. Next is Sorcerer. I wasn't wrong. The book is always Sorcerer. Of course, trust your instinct. We have 7 of them. Your team gains 10 AP. I actually mentioned this. Usually Sorcerer and Bruiser. If you just have 2 of them, you get a flat bonus. This is also true for Sentinel. It's a flat bonus on your whole team. So we're going to see a lot of just random 2 Sorcerer. Usually, though, Sorcerers on their own, like the Mage comps, are not that strong. This will probably be A tier. I think it really depends on the strength of Zoe. If Zoe's not good, it's not going to be S tier. If she's good, it could be S tier. That's all it is. Very simple. And if you get to 8, you get abilities reduce the target's damage by 25% for 3 seconds, and you get 100 AP on everyone. If you get 8 Sorcerer and no one else gets anything crazy, you'll probably go first. Visionary. So it's an eyeball. It's not a. Well, it looks like a blood drop with an eyeball in it to me, but yeah. Oh, it's a mana. Okay. When visionaries gain mana, they gain more. Okay, so it's supposed to be a mana drop with like an eye in it. Okay, makes sense. And then we have our 7 units here that don't really go well together, in my opinion. Looks like a mess. But yeah, when visionaries gain mana, they gain more. And it's percentage based. So you like Shojin. You love Shojin. You just want a bunch of Shojins on your team. This seems really Shojin hungry, so I don't know how good this will be. It also seems difficult to play because where's your front line, right? You have a Rel and a Nunu, and that's it. If you get 8, of course, that could also be really good. Maybe if you get an emblem, you just rush level 8 and you pray you get Malzahar. And if you do, you'll be in a really good spot because you're getting double the mana from all your mana sources. And finally, we made it to the last class trait. We are at Watcher. Watchers gain durability increased while above 50% health. Okay, I was talking about this. Maybe a Mumu Darius with Draven could be some sort of one cost reroll. I just thought of something. So you could easily play four of these, maybe with Conquer. You could play four of these, and then you could play Firelight. And Scar would be a menace. You have insane durability. At 4, you would have 45% durability above 50% of. That is crazy. And then Firelight will heal you for a part of the damage you took each time you do the 6 second, interval dash. That is this guy's gonna be this guy's gonna be a menace, right? Absolutely. Just throw some gargoyles on him. Like gargoyles, dragon claw is probably what I'm gonna be going for. Yeah, I'll probably be going for something like Dragon Claw, Gargoyles, Warmonks, something like that. And this guy's going to be a beast, I think, yeah. And then finally, we do have one last thing to look at, the new team up synergies. Geniuses, Martial Law, Menaces. Okay, I was talking about Menaces. Reunion, Sisters, Unlikely Duo, and What Could Have Been. Okay, let's look really quickly. When Heimerdinger casts Echo releases after images, each dealing damage. They deal bonus damage when they're together. Okay, cool. Martial Law. Ambessa, Caitlyn. When Ambessa casts, Caitlyn fires an Empower auto at the target, dealing a ton of damage. And Ambessa... Well, if you get these two, this is crazy. Next, Menaces. Powder and Silco, the two ones that like to throw things at people. Powder gains Dominator, but no longer benefits from family. Okay, this must be related to lore somehow, right? This must be some sort of lore. When her monkey explodes, it creates 3 of Silco's monstrosities. Okay, interesting. Reunion, Echo. Oh, so we have different pairs, right? Echo Heimerdinger or Echo Vi. Interesting. Okay. When Vi casts, Echo releases 3 after images towards her target, each dealing bonus damage. When Echo casts, Vi slams an earthquake towards his target. So they just get bonus damage, right? And these two get bonus damage. These two get... Basically, these are all just bonus damage. Sisters, when Jinx scores a takedown, Vi gains 40% AD for 7 seconds. When Vi scores a takedown, Jinx gains bonus attack speed for 5 seconds. So this could be really good. The issue I see with this is that when is Vi getting a kill? I don't think she's a main carry. She does have a nice number on her slam. 619 as a base is really high. But she's probably hitting tanks or something, right? Maybe if you have good positioning, you would have to be really positional with her. Put her in front of the squishy units. If you have a Vi, she's going to be buffing her Vi, her sister in the back, right? I could see that working. And then here we have Jinx Civica. Okay, I mean, double 5 cost, this is like a level 9 type of thing. Probably not going to happen very often. Jinx and Civica gain 10% AD and 150 health. Whenever one casts, they grant the other 15 mana. Sevica's arm is luckier. Oh god, okay. So basically, when these two are together, you win the game, right? What could have been Silco and Vander? Vander gains permanent max health for each time Silco cast. Silco gains permanent AP for each time Vander dies. Ah, okay. So if you get an early Silco and you're playing family or you're playing Vander in some way, this could be really strong, right? You just start stacking up both of them. Okay, that's really interesting. This is going to add a lot of thinking to the game when you get to level 4. People are going to find ways to min-max this, but there's so many new things between all these new champs and all these new augments or synergies that it's going to take a while for people to figure it out. But okay, next thing we are going to be looking at is the augments list really quickly. There's way too many augments here, guys. I do not actually want to read through all of them. I don't think anyone wants to hear me read through all of them. So we're just going to peek really quickly and see if we see anything new. Starting with tier 1, silver augments, okay? Back up, team gains attack speed in the back rows, okay? Band of Thieves is not new. Beggars Can Be Choosers, not new. Blade Dance is an Aurelia carry augment, okay? So she might be able to do something, but it is a silver augment. Blistering Strike's not new. Branching Out, not new. Bulky Buddies, I assume this replaced 2 Tanky. Allies that start combat next to one ally gain health. When they die, they gain a max health shield to their partner. Okay, interesting. Called Shot, set your win streak to +4, gain a random component, and gold. Okay, so it's a win streak. If you think you can win streak, you take it. Caretaker's Ally, not new. Climb the ladder. Each time an ally dies, they grant Wait, allies that share a trait with them gain. Wait, is this permanent? Wait. Each time an ally dies, allies that share at least one trait with them gain AP, AD, armor, and MR. It doesn't say if it's permanent or not. If it's permanent, this is kind of insane. I hope this isn't permanent because it looks easily breakable. Next thing is combat medic. Gain a steb. Okay, steb. Have carry augment, component buffet, corrosion. Enemy champions in the first two rows lose armor and MR every 2 seconds. Okay. Crafting. When you craft a completed item, gain rerolls. Delayed start, sell your board and bench, gain 4 random 2-star 1 cost, disable your shop. Okay. Diversified portfolio, each round gain 1 gold for every 3 non-unique traits active. Diversified plus, you gain extra gold. Dumbify, lose all champions on your board and bench, gain a training dummy with 70% of their health combined. Ooh, this could be really good. If you're lucky, this could be insane, right? You could also sort of play for this. You just have a bunch of bruisers and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go for Dumbify, right? Just play a bunch of bruisers. If you hit it, you combine them and then you completely switch into some other team, right? This could be pretty strong. Eye for an eye and eye for an eye plus. Every 14 ally champs that die, you get a component, or every 11 that dies. Find your center is not new. Find vintage not new. Fire cell isn't new either. Glass cannon. Units that start combat in the back row gain or begin combat at 80% health but gain damage amp. That seems pretty good. Good for something, not new. Head start. Gain 3 2-star 1 cost. Disable your shop. Okay. Your team gains Omnivamp. Set a bonus of 10 gold when your first team accumulates 10,000 total healing. This is going to be really, really interesting, but in a bonus of 10 gold, if it's repetitive, it could be good. I don't see it being great though. This is a lot of healing, more than you would think. It's pretty difficult to get to this point. Help is on the way. After 8-player combats, yeah, get a support anvil. I hope this works. Gain a powder. This is a powder carry augment. And then iron assets. Yeah, not new. Item collector, item grab bag, Kingslayer. After winning player combat, gain 1 gold. If they had more health than you, gain 3 gold instead. So you lose streak and then you start winning. Late game specialist, late and forge, line up. Line up. Your team gains 2.5 armor and MR for each unit that starts combat in the front 2 rows. Okay. Lone hero, your last surviving unit gains 100% attack speed and 30% durability. I don't know who would use this well, but it could be good. And lunch money, mad chemist, Singe carry augment, mana flow 1. Your units that start coming in the back gain additional mana per attack. That could be really good with the what's it called? The ones that gain mana, extra bonus mana on their trait. Mentorship, misconnections, nothing new here. One for all. Your team gains 2% max health and 1.5% damage amp for each unique 1 cost on your board. So if you're rerolling 1 cost, it's going to be great. 125, gain a random emblem, yeah, money, blah blah blah. 123, over encumbered, Pandora's bench, items. Patience is a virtue, placebo, we've seen all of these. Power up. Your next augment is 1 tier higher. Pumping up, Recombobb. Reroll transfer, what is this? For everyone unused augment reroll, gain 3 free shop rerolls, gain 3 gold. So basically, you can get up to 9 free shop rerolls per augment selection. This could actually be quite good. Restart mission, we know what that is. Rig shop, your next shop and every 4 shop will contain all 3 costs. Oh, this could be very good for the 3 cost reroll. The Blitzcrank Kog'Maw Cass, or maybe the Swain plus Gangplank. I think this could help you reroll those easily. Skip all of the ones you've seen before. Superstars, your team deals 5% more damage, increased by 2% for every 3-star on your team. So this is for 3 cost reroll. Support mining, gain a training dummy. When it dies 6 times, gain a support anvil and remove the dummy. Not bad at all. Survivor, after 3 players are eliminated, gain 60 gold. This is really late game. I mean, if you're winning really hard in the start, you can take this and just wait for 3 players to bleed out, and then you get a huge boost. Maybe it gets you to level 9, and you end up winning the game. Table scraps. After each carousel, gain 1 unit that was not taken and its item. But generally speaking, people leave the useless stuff for last, so it's a little questionable. And then we have team building, teaming up, Titanic Titan. Okay, increase your current and max player health by 20, but you are released on carousel rounds much earlier, albeit much slower. Okay, interesting. Trolling, Trundle carry augment. Okay. Oh, permanent AD stacking. That's going to be played a lot. Underdogs. Whenever your team has fewer units alive than your opponent, your units regen 8% health each second. And then Young, Wild, and Free. Okay, that's all the silver ones, all the non-fun ones. let's get to the tier 2s so we can get to the tier 3s, right? Academic research. Whenever you build an item, gain a completed item anvil instead. Always offers an academy item. Oh, so the academy can get rerolled really hard. If you get some good sponsored items, this would be insane, right? You just get a ton of like, I don't know, crown guards or something. Like crown guard is the first thing that comes to mind because of crown guarded. Augment has been around for so long. But yeah, this could be anything, right? Any good item. If you get a good sponsor, you can take this. Academy crest, adrenaline burst, combat start. Okay, it's a Quicksilver augment. Golden Find, Champions Evolved by the Anomaly. This is the new set mechanic we're going to be looking at momentarily. Champions Evolved by the Anomaly drop 2 gold every 2 kills. Gain 10 free rolls. Oh, that's a lot of gold. This could be really good. This could be incredible. If you have your Anomaly on the main carry. All that shimmers. Magic roll. Roll 3 dice. Gain rewards based on their total. Okay, more gambling. Cool. Ambusher Crest. Another Anomaly. So you get like a double Anomaly basically. You can duplicate your first Anomaly. When sorcerers die, they deal damage based on their AP to adjacent enemies. Okay, explosion, sort of self-destruct. Artillerist, automatic crest. Bad luck protection. Your team can no longer critically strike. Convert all critical strike into AD and gain a sparring gloves. Okay, this could be really good with a lot of thieves gloves, probably. If you just have a ton of gloves, like on Anvil Buffet or some other thing that gives you a bunch of anvils, this could be really good. Balance budget, of course. Battle scars. Every time watchers are attacked, they gain AD, and every time they are hit, they hit an ability, they gain AP. Okay. Black Rose Crest, Blazing Soul. Combat start your highest attack speed champion, gain AP and AD. Repeat every 3 seconds. Okay. BRB. It's just like AFK, right? You get two completed anvils after 4 rounds. Your team gains 2% damage amp for each bronze tier unit. That's not. That doesn't seem very good. Um, but okay. Bruiser Crest. Brutal Revenge is a Rennie hero augment, okay? Built different, of course. Golden Bulky Buddies. Caretaker's Favor, Category 5. I think this could be good on Twitch maybe, or Zeri, something like that. Chem Baron Crest. Clear Minds. Climb the Ladder 2. Yeah, we've already seen this. Clockwork Accelerator. Cloning Facility. What is this? Empower Hex in the center of your board. Summon a clone of the champion in it with 70% health and increased mana cost. Okay, I mean, this could be good. This could be good still. It's just like it's like it gives you a trickster's class, but you have to position in the center of the board, which I don't like. Next, Cluttered Mind, Conqueror Crest, Contested. After each player combat, gain 1 gold for every 2 other players who have fielded the leftmost unit on your bench this game. That's really weird, but okay. Could be good, maybe. At the start of each turn, all units hold a frying pan or spatula item. Or all units holding a frying pan or special item grant the nearest champ with 20 permanent health. Gain a frying pan. Okay, I mean, that can be really good. Just depends. Like if you get Vander Silco and you also stack with this, Vander will be the tankiest unit in the lobby probably. Crimson Pact is a Vladimir carry augment. Oh, we do have Crown Guarded. Okay, so here we go. If I ever see Academy Crown Guarded, I'm making a video, guys. You ready for it? Crown's Will. Gain a rod. Units gain AP and armor. Domination, a Dominator thing. Gain attack speed and shield. Dominator Crest. Dual Q. Enforcer Crest. Epoch Plus. Experimenter Crest. Family Crest. Firelight Crest. Forbidden Magic. Every 3 takedowns by Black Rose champions or Scion grants permanent AD and max health. And you gain a bunch of Black Rose champs. Okay, so if you get this on 2-1, you can definitely play it. Otherwise, you probably don't. Forward thinking, lose all your gold after 6 player combats. Gain back the original amount in another 80 gold. Oh, this is really interesting, but also really awkward. Sorry, when would you ever... I think if you roll down on 4-1 and you get this, this is great. Otherwise, I don't see where you would take this. It's really good or it's just terrible augment. So, I don't... Fractured Crystals. When an automatic champion fires a blast, they fire second at the nearest enemy. Okay. Glass Cannon. 2. Okay. Gloves off. Vander reroll or Vander Hero Augment. Gold for dummies. Gain a training dummy. Every 10 seconds, all dummies grant gold. Okay. Golemify. Lose all champions on your board and bench. Gain a golem with 70% of their combined health. Oh, that's interesting. That could be really fun. If you have a lot of things on your board, this could be incredible. Guerrilla Warfare, Firelight Champion buff. Health is wealth. Omnivamp and gain money. Heavy Smash, Bruiser, Bruiser Empowerment. High Voltage, Inspiring Epitaph. Champions gain 7 max health per interest you earn. Oh! Just give your bruisers a ton of health every round. 35 extra health if you're at 5 interest. Get really tanky with that. Yeah, Item Collector. Law Enforcement. Enforcer champs get a buff and more gold. All of these we've seen. Loot Explosion. Ambusher kills have a chance to drop loot, scaling with critical strike chance. Okay, this is like really slot machine. Lots of things to do with critting and getting loot if you crit. So Mace's Will gain a sparring glove. Your team gains attack speed and crit chance. Malicious monetization on gain 6 gold for the next 3 rounds. Enemy champions drop 2 gold when killed. Okay, so if you're win streaking and you know you're gonna win the next 3 rounds, this is just a bunch of money. This is like balanced budget, but even crazier. So then we have upgraded version of some augments. Moonlight. 2 random 1-cost champions are upgraded 3-star for that round and gain AD and AP. Oh, so this is like a win streak augment. If you know you can win streak with your board, but you don't want to reroll, like for example, you want to play Conquer, and you want to take Moonlight for your Draven and Darius, and you just want to spam level up, play Rel, play Swain. This seems like it could be really good. I could see this being crazy for win streaking. Noble Sacrifice. Basically, someone dies, they give their armor and MR to everyone else. Okay. No scout, no pivot. Oh god. Units can no longer be benched or sold after fighting in a player combat. After each player combat, units gain health, AD, and AP. This is going to be really strong. It's almost like there is no actual drawback to this. I feel like, especially since it says after each player combat, right? Or in a player combat. After fighting in a player combat. So that means on PvE rounds, you should be able to, right? I assume. Noxian Guillotine. Conquerors execute. Alright, cool. And then they get stacking armor and more. One for all. Yeah, this is just an upgraded version of the other one. Overheal. Exactly what it says. Every third attack does more damage, and you can overheal. Paint the town blue. When the first 5 rebels die each combat, summon a copy of themselves that is 1-star with lower with 400 less health. Okay. So they can like flood the board with a bunch of little ones. Pair of 4s. If your team has exactly 2 4-cost champions, they gain a bunch of health and attack speed. This could definitely work really well with some of the 4-costs we saw. I'm sure this will get taken with whatever 4-cost rerolls there are. Or 4, there's no such thing as a 4-cost reroll, but yeah. We've seen all of these. Piercing Lotus though. Team games crit chance. Their ability can critically strike. And they shred and sunder. I don't like that. I never liked 20% shred and sunder because the items all give 30%. So this always feels a little bit lackluster. We have Pilfer, Pit Fighter Crest, Pit Fighter Crest, and then Portable Forge, yeah, Prize Fighter pumping up too. Pyromaniac, gain a red buff, your burn deals 50% increased damage. That could be really good, definitely. On like some of those AoE units that like to spread anti-heal. Powered Shields, when shielded, your units gain durability. When they drop below 50 health, they gain a shield. Okay. Simple enough. Quick Striker Crest, Raining Gold. Rebel Crest, Reinforcement, Replication. These are all old augments. Rocket Collection. Artillers rocket damage. Rockets deal 50% increased damage. Every 60 rockets your artillers fire gain a collector, max 2. Okay, so this is kind of funny. One of them would definitely go on Tristana. Probably Rageblade Collector IE or something like that. And then the second one would go on someone else. I'm not sure who though. Sated Spellweaver. After casting an ability, champions gain Omnivamp for 3 seconds. Excess healing is converted to a shield, up to 300 health. Okay. Scapegoat is Scapegoat. Scavenger is new. The first 4 enemies that are killed each combat grant a champion on your team a temporary completed item. Sure, okay. So that's like That's like Unstable Treasure Chest, the artifact item. We have Scoreboard Scrapper, Scrap Crest, Sentinel Crest, Shield Bash, Sentinel buff, right? They do a bunch of damage. Okay, cool. Shop Glitch, during non-player combat rounds, your shop refreshes every 3 seconds, 30 seconds. So you get 20 gold per PvE round, basically. Like, put really simply. That's not bad at all. That's actually quite good. That's a lot of gold. You definitely are not really going to win streak with this unless you're already really, really lucky compared to everyone. Slammin', Sniper Crest. Sniper's Nest is another. Oh, snipers gain plus 8% damage amp for each round fought from the same starting hex. Oh no. Oh no, Riot. Riot, why? So after 4 rounds, the snipers are just gonna start one-tapping everything, right? You just leave them. It's okay if you don't reposition your snipers. Just put them in the corners and leave them there, right? Everything's fine. Sorcerer Crest. Spear's Will. Your team gains 80. Oh, such as BF Sword. Okay, sure. Spirit Link. Team restores 4% of their max health every 5 seconds, increasing the healing by 0.50% for every 10 missing player health. Oh, so this could be really good with bruisers again, right? Just heal a ton. This plus the other one that gives permanent stacking health can be really good. Spoils of War, Starry Night. 1 and 2 cost units in your shop have a chance to be 2-star. Oh, okay, interesting. Not bad, but a little strange. I don't know when I would take this, to be honest. Not at first glance, at least. Superstars we've seen. Support Cash teaming up. The mutation survives. Experiments gain health and grant a special hex. Experiment and hex is killed on combat start, granting their bonus to other laboratory hexes. Ah, interesting. So you could, I think what you could do then is play all the experiment units and then play another copy of the one you want to sacrifice. Because it doesn't say anything about them being unique. You just, if you want to sacrifice, I don't know, Morgana, but you don't want to lose your Morgana, then you can play a second one on the Hex, right? Something like that. Tomb Raider. For the next 3 players eliminated, choose one of their items to keep. That's kind of funny. It could be good. It could be good. Especially if someone has like a spatula or something you want. That might be really good, right? Top of the scrap heap. Every 8 component scrap champions convert gain a random component. Up to 6. Wow, okay. Normally these type of augments are capped at 4. It's at 6 though. Interesting. Tower Defense. Gain a training dummy equipped with a random emblem that fires ranged attacks. It upgrades as the game goes on. These are usually not that good. But I mean, it does give you a random emblem, so it can't be that bad. It's definitely very RNG, right? If the emblem is bad, you're just in a bad spot. You're missing an augment all of a sudden. Okay. Training Arc. Pit fighters permanently gain AD if they lost last combat. If they won, gain health. Oh, so this could be pretty good. Trade Martial Law. Oh yeah, we saw these actually. Oh wait, these are not wait a second. I thought these were just traits. But it looks like they're augments because they're in the augment section, right? We just looked at these. Okay, interesting. We're gonna go and skip them. We already looked at them in the augment section. Trifecta, gain 2 3-cost champs, and 3 random 3-cost champs gain health and attack speed. Okay, so if you're playing a 3-cost reroll and you're playing 3 of them, this is pretty good, right? Just give them health and attack speed. Too much value. Just random rerolls, so it's like a money augment. 2 trick, random units, unleash the beast, vampiric vitality. You heal for damage you deal to enemy tacticians. Oh. This could be quite good, actually. This is interesting. Okay. Visionary Crest, yeah. Void Caller. You summon Voidlings up to 5 based on Visionary's mana spent during the fight. Okay, that could be pretty good. Wandering Trainer. War for the Undercity. Every time you choose to save your Shimmer on a black market, heal and gain gold. Oh, okay. This could be quite good as well. You could continue loose streaking even harder with this, right? And you end up getting a bunch of gold, and then you can stack up the max health, because saving the Shimmer means that you get more max health. I think, right? I think so. After dealing 60 player damage, gain a chest of high cost champions and items. Oh, this could be really good. If you're hard win streaking early game, win streak stage 1 and 2 for a little bit, you cash this out really early, it could be really good, depending on the rewards. Watcher Crest. Welcome to the playground. If at least 2 family members are alive after 12 seconds, you gain a random copy of Vander, Powder, or Violet. Ah, okay. So you could reroll the family units with this. So if you get this, you can easily out reroll anyone trying to contest you on the family units. Then what doesn't kill you? Why not both? Well, you feel 2 of the same form swapper in different forms. Both gain AP, Armor, MR, and AD. When you 3-star a form swapper, gain it. Okay. Oh god. This sounds so incredibly like busted. These these form swapper units gain durability and damage amp, depending on if they're in the front or back, and then this augment gives them all the stats they don't have already. AD, AP, armor, MR. Yeah, this is just crazy. Okay, I mean this is insane with the form swappers, and worth the wait. And we finally made it through the three cost augments, or the tier 2 augments. Yeah, we can look at prismatics. This is what we want to see. We made it, guys. We made it. We're almost done. This is as tiring for me as it is for you guys. So, Academy Crown. Okay, Academy Emblem and a random sponsored item. Ambusher Crown. Exalted Adventure. If you 3-star 2 of these random units that you get, then you get a loot orb. Okay? And you get rerolls. Yeah, anger issues. Artifactory. So this is probably replacing What the Forge. I know they're removing What the Forge. At the start of each turn, your benched completed items transform into a random artifact item. Gain an anvil and 2 remove. Yeah, this is just What the Forge, but the updated version. Okay. Artillerist Crown. At what cost? Automatic Crown. Belt Overflow. Gain 4 Giant's Belts. Your Giant's Belts grant 75 bonus health. This could be really good with bruisers, yeah? You just make a ton of warmongs, put them all across your bruisers, have insane frontline. Could see that being good. Birthday present, Black Rose Crown, Blazing Soul. Oh, this is just an upgraded version of the other augment, Blazing Soul. Lightning Speed, Bronze for Life, yeah. Bruiser Crown, Build a Bud, Bulky Buddies, Buried Treasures. These are all not new. Calculated Enhancement. Each round, 4 random champions in your last row gain AD and AP. Wow. Wait. Wow. Wait, what? Each combat, 4 random champions in your last row. Oh, it's not permanently stacking. Okay. Sorry. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, Riot? It's like get 35% AT and AP every round. That's insane. This can still be really good, but I'm glad it's not permanently stacking. Yeah. Code of Chaos, Caretaker's Chosen, Crown, Coronation. Okay. Gain a Tactician's Crown, Tactician's Crown, Shield, and Cape. Grant the holder an additional 30% attack speed, AD, and AP. Oh, this is just good. It's just a crown, and you get a big benefit from it. If you start the game with the spatula from the first carousel, this could be even stronger, right? You just end up having 2 crowns, and they have really good stats on them. A Dominator Crown, Dual Purpose, Enforcer Crown. Yeah, expected unexpectedness. Now and at the start of the next 2 stages, roll 3 dice, gain various rewards based on their total. Experiment Crown, Family Crown, Final Polish, gain a support anvil and completed item anvil. Okay. Twilight Crown, Flexible, Flurry of Blows. This is a new one. Gain a Zeke's Herald. Champions buffed by Zeke's also gain crit chance. Oh, so this could be really good for snipers, maybe? I could see that, yeah. Ghost of Friends Past. Whenever an ally champion dies, your team permanently gains health AD AP based on the dying champion's roll. Oh god. That sounds crazy. It's really crazy. You just get a ton of AD AP and yeah, because you don't even have to lose combat. You just need your ally. You just need your champions to die, right? That's really crazy. New one is Greater Moonlight. 1 random 1 cost is upgraded to 4 costs for that round and gains AD and AP. Oh, this could be really good. It depends how strong they make 4 costs, of course. They buffed them at the very end of last patch in set 12, but that was kind of for fun, right? Hall of Mirrors. Combat Star. All champions in your front row become clones of the champion in the center of the row. Oh my god. This could be insane. Imagine you just have 5 Elises chain stunning the enemy or something. Something else, right? It could be anything. 5 Mordekaisers. I don't know. This could be really crazy. I'm sure people will break this in hilarious ways. Oh, wait. If you 3-star a 4 cost? Oh, God. Wait, yeah, you just this can insta win the game for sure. Hard commit, yeah. Hedge fund. Oh, hedge fund is back. You have no interest cap. What? Oh my god, they changed it. Oh god, there's going to be some crazy videos this set, guys. Some crazy, crazy games too. I'm the carry now, movable object. Invested. Investment strategy 2. This is just an upgraded version. You get stacking health, right? This should be good with bruisers, I'm sure. Level up, living forge. Lucky gloves plus. Max cap. Your max level is 7. Gain a tactician shield, which increases your team size by 1 and gains 60 gold. Oh, okay, okay. So on 2-1, this should pretty much give you a free top 4, I think. You're basically instantly max interest, and you're level 8 for free, pretty much. Like you have 8 slots. And then you can just reroll some 1 or 2 cost comp. That's going to be S tier. Uncontested, right? Because you have way more gold than everyone. So this is going to be a free top 4 for sure. This is probably always going to be top 3 if you play correctly. And then 1 buff, 2 buff. Gain a red and blue buff and a champ dupe. Okay? What else? Anything new? Prismatic Pipeline. The next player combat will drop an additional prismatic orb full of amazing loot. All gold and prismatic orbs contain even more loot. This is another slot machine augment. Don't take this unless you are willing to get really unlucky. Prismatic ticket, okay. Quality over quantity. Units holding exactly one item upgraded to radiant. Oh my goodness. Oh, thieves gloves counts as multiple items. Okay, that's very important. You can really just put the best specific item on each of your units and split your items between units. I think this is actually going to be very good. We'll see the statistics really soon, right? When the set releases and everyone starts playing for a few weeks, we're going to see all the statistics for everything, how broken some of these are. We're going to know very soon. And yeah, okay. None of these are interesting, right? Just crowns, and old augments. Shimmer skill essence. Gain a diamond hands. In 5 rounds, gain gambler's blade. Okay, we've had that before, I think. More crowns. Spoils of war. Sponging. Combat start. Up to 5 champions with 1 or fewer items. Gain a copy of a random completed item from the nearest itemized ally with 1 or fewer items. This could be really good for tanks, I think. Like you just put a Warmox. That's my instinct. Could also be like Sterix Gauge on a bunch of bruisers. I see this working the best for tanks though. Probably with like bruisers and sentinels. Now and at the start, yes, we've seen the subscription service is back. Sword overflow, you gain 5 BF swords. Oh my goodness. Your BF swords grant attack speed. Gain a tactician's crown and random emblem. Tactician's kitchen. This is gonna get taken a lot. People love this type of stuff, right? Because you can insta win the game if you get a good emblem. So this is gonna be super popular. Tomb Raider. This is just prismatic. There's no limit. Every time someone dies, you get to take one of their items. Trait Blood Brothers and Trait Geniuses. Okay, so these are augments. So these effects are not actually traits. You have to have the augment, I think, to activate. We already saw these in the synergy part of the video, so we're gonna keep going. Trifecta 2. We've seen this. This is not new. A crown. Void Swarm. What is this? Gain a ZZ Rot portal and another after every 9 player combats. They have increased attack speed and Omnivamp. Okay, people are gonna love this, I'm sure. This could be really funny in a prismatic lobby. You get a bunch of anvils or random support items, and then you just have a bunch of ZZ Rot. Yeah, ZZ Rot portal voidlings walking around. Lastly, we have Wand Overflow. So similar to the other one. 5 rods and a bunch of attack speed. That is all of the augments. Okay, guys, this video is going to be ridiculously long. I'm trying to go as quickly as I can, and we are almost done, I promise. We got through pretty much everything except for the encounters here. We can even close the augments. We're completely done with that. We can look at the encounters really quickly. I heard they completely changed how portals/encounters work. There's a 20% chance for no encounter, right? Just a regular portal game, I think. Then there's a chance to get powder, wandering trainer, loot subscription, 3 gold augments, 2 random component anvils, or 2 component anvils, crab rave, scuttle puddle, prismatic opener, prismatic finisher, all prismatic or gold subscription, and that is everything for the encounters. Yeah, very simple, very simple. So there's very high chance we do get some crazy encounters though, right? Scuttle puddle, crab rave, and opener, and all prismatic, and gold subscription. Like these are all really kind of crazy, especially these though, right? These 3 plus prismatic. So we have like a 24% chance to get something crazy right off the bat. And Wandering Train is a little crazy too, right? Loot subscription as well. So it's like 4, 8, 12, 12 plus 20, 32% chance. And I don't know how this Powder's Monkey thing is going to work. If it's crazy, then we almost have we have a 44% chance to get something crazy as an encounter every single game. So basically, half your games are going to be kind of wild, depending on which one of these encounters you get, and you are going to see them often. There's only 20% chance to have no encounter. So good luck out there. I hope you guys get some good encounters. And lastly, we're going to look here really quickly at the Anomaly. Okay, guys, the new set mechanic, the Anomaly will appear in stages 4-6, buff your champions with unique effects in every game. And you can see here on 4-6, this little hex will spawn. You can put the champion on it that you want to buff, and then you get like an armory. I saw this in a Mort Dog clip. And basically, there's a ton of different things here. I would like to go through all of them. This video is going to be very long because of how many there are, though. So you know what? For now, I'm going to call it, but we will look really, really quickly at some of them, okay? Um, so I'm going to call it for the reading every single thing, yeah? But you can see here, like for example, dramatic entrance, combat start, leap off the battlefield after 6 seconds, arrive with 60% increased max health, and stun all enemies for 1.5 seconds. So we have some really crazy stuff, right? We also have stuff like this here. Miniature, or no, not this one. Where is it? I just saw one that looked crazy as well a second ago. Was it this one actually? Transform into an item that gives 50% of their AD, AP, armor, and MR. Equipped items pop off. This is crazy. You turn your champion into an item. So you could turn one of your carries into an item, and then you could actually reroll and get them back, right? And for tank, right, you can see here, gain 40 armor and MR, tripled above 50% health. Could be really good for a bruiser. Gain 1,000 health, grow greatly in size. Cap incoming damage at 100. Right? These are all kind of crazy. There's a lot of crazy stuff in here. Carry, attack carry. Carry, we have some nice ones too. All right, let's see. Into the unknown. This champion disappears for 2 rounds. When they return, they gain 50 AP and 50% AD. So yeah, we have some really crazy stuff. And then attack carry as well. What do we have here? Anything super fun? Summon 2 untargetable wolves that deal 25% of this champion's AD and have set attack speed. So this could be really good on like Tristana, right? If you stack up your Tristana with crazy attack damage early, and then you get this, she just starts shooting, or she just has some wolves attacking the enemy all of a sudden. Magic carry, laser eyes just sounds crazy. Constantly deal AP, 80% AP damage per second in a 3 hex line and burn enemies. We have comeback story, gain damage in for every health you're missing, or you have lost this game. Actually, it's different. And then look down here, trait. Let's see, what do we have? Maybe Firelight Ace? Gain the Firelight trait. Ooh, after they dash, gain attack speed and AD for 4 seconds. So you could give one of your units the Firelight trait. Imagine Dr. Mundo healing for 1000 plus with his crazy tank items. And then he has the Firelight trait and he just keeps dashing and healing back to full. That's just ridiculous. Then we also have mana. Nothing wasted when an ally dies. Give 100% of current mana to a teammate. I believe it's supposed to say, it doesn't say it. Finally, attack speed, and then etc. Crit chance and true damage. So let's see what we have here. Headhunter. This champion gains attack speed. Every one kill they gain 1% more. Doubled in hyper roll, of course. Etc. Team player. Gain +1 to each of this champion's non-unique traits. Wait, what? Gain +1 to each of this champion's non-unique traits? So if you just have a black rose, you have 6 black rose, you put it on the hex, you can get 7 black rose. Oh, that's really good. Then we have true damage. When this champion squares a takedown, create a toxic cloud at the enemy's location with a 1 hex radius that deals 100 true damage per second for 4 seconds. Invisibility. Every 4 seconds, turn invisible for 1 second. The next attack has a 100% crit strike chance. We made it through everything. I'm sorry this video is so long. If you did watch to the end, I hope you drank some water along the way, maybe took a bathroom break, maybe watching in parts. I really appreciate anyone who actually watched through or is listening to me finish off the video and close off right now. I hope you guys have a good time. I am going to be posting a lot of videos this set. It looks super great. It looks amazing. It looks way better than the past few sets we played, if I'm being honest. So I am really excited to start playing and messing around with the Anomaly and all the new augments and champions. If you guys have any questions or you want to let me know anything, just leave a comment. And if you liked the video or it helped you, maybe consider just leaving me a like and subscribing potentially. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, that is it for now. Thank you so much and bye bye. Okay, bye bye.